Look at us, being here on time and not in a hurry for once. Hello, everybody.
We do that every week. What are you talking about?
We are always so punctual, so professional, don't worry about it. But
We have never been late. We're always on time. No delays.
hello, chat. How are you all doing tonight? And how are you doing, Anya?
I'm in tatters, but I'm recovering just fine. I have a lovely coffee. I have a meal. I'm ready.
I need you to know that when you say that you're in tatters, I have an extremely vivid mental image that I don't think is suitable for YouTube audiences.
I think I know what you're thinking about, and I agree.
Ah, what a day! What a day! I was actually playing Melty Blood early today with Jackie.
Ooh.
I've been quite enjoying playing Mash. It is surprising neither of us even tried playing Saber because she's a character in that game. She's there. You can just be Saber.
You can just beat Saber?
On that note, the name of today's stream, we gotta actually fight Berserker for the first proper time. We're not going to be running the fuck away. Archer gave his... You know what I was thinking yesterday, right?
Yes.
After we did the whole Dragon Ball scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seja? Did you just super chat me? Did you just super chat me for 6 euros? Thank you. I don't have alerts prepared for super chats, but thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh. So I was saying though, I went back to the scene before we started getting Dragon Board,
Mm-hmm.
and I turned on the porn. And I just wanted to kind of check what was up with that, right? I want to see how things diverged. And you know the thing where Rin is like super sad that she can tell Archer is fucking dead? That happens.
That's fucked up.
That happens in the porn version too. So like in the porn version, she will be like, oh god, Archer is dead. I'm sorry, Shirou, but we gotta do this. We cannot let his sacrifice be in vain. You have to fuck Saber. You have to just make the what's the name of the Chewbacca monster? Is that the name? The monster of Chewbacca?
The beast with two backs, I think, is the Shakespeare.
Thank you. You have to make the beast with Chewbacca with her.
And just let him die for nothing.
There's actually that meme.
I'm sure
Shirou,
there is.
I'm a thirsty little flower. Please, we have to fight Berserker. You have to come in me. I'm not doing that. And just let her die.
Oh, good lord.
Anyway,
This is such a goofy series. I love it so much.
it's so good. Anyway, another thing I was thinking of while I prepared to actually go into the game itself proper, I was thinking, right? I was pondering. It is only the porn scenes that are changed, right? Which means, is the post scene still intended to be read as the morning after? In which case, there may be a slight disconnect here. That may be very interesting. Right? You're gonna leave the part out when literally got Shirou's hit. She really did! When she was like pushing him on top of Saber, you know?
God bless.
Also, for anyone who wasn't here the last time, no actual spoilers of what happens in the actual porn scene because we are going to be actually reading it. At some point in the future. After this scene is gone, you know? After this, like, route is done.
I can't wait. That's gonna be so fun.
Ah. About to joke that. Didn't know it was actually a thing, yeah? Shirou could give Saber to Rin after Archer's death. Yeah, I was thinking about that, yeah. Like, Rin still has one command spell. They could have solved things by just having Saber end up her servant, you know? That could have been a 100% valid way of solving that situation. But we had sex. Or in this case, we completely fucked Shirou's ability to
We
become...
completely fucked Shirou.
Yeah. Also, why is the game frozen?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna share, but it... Why did you freeze? Game? Uh-oh? Why is the dragon music playing?
This is our penance for being on time.
Why did the dragon scene music play for a moment? Anyway, I'm sharing now. Check that you can see things. Rin finding an excuse to have a three-way with Saber of a logical solution checks out. She just couldn't. She just had to try Saber, you know? Ah. Saber backshots. Ah. One moment. Okay. We can begin then. Saber is lying on the bed with an untidy blouse. Loose?
Blouse.
Thank you. And Tozaka is curled up, asleep. Tozaka's alright, but Saber has been under me dressed like this. Good morning, Saber.
Good morning, Shirou.
An awkward greeting. Saber slowly gets up and fixes her blouse. Crap, we're conscious of each other and can't look at each other in the eyes. You can get up now?
Yes, I'm able to receive your supply of magical energy now.
How nice. How convenient. It seems Saber's back to normal. The frailness when I carried her here is gone now. That's good. So the transplant of Magic Circuit succeeded, huh? So let me check the... Oh, this is the old translation. Right, because I'm going to put the new one on. Just for now. It's transplanted the Magic Circuit work. There we go. That's the new one.
Yes. So, would you please put some clothes on, Shirou? When you're dressed that way, for some reason it's difficult for me to talk.
She's shy about it now. When she mentions the state of my dress, I look down. You're right, of course. In a panic, I put my hand on my meticulously folded shirt. The one who folded it so neatly must have been Tosca. Wait, no, I did this myself. He did it in a fucking foof. He was dissociating while he did that.
God. I fucking love this guy.
Why did I do it this carefully? I vividly recall last night's ritual. I synchronized with Saber and transplanted my magic circuit into her depths. Saber's condition has gone back to normal, but what happened to my own body? Osaka said that if I lost my magic circuit, my body and my spirit might not survive, but there isn't that much damage, nor is there any great sense of loss. I'm a little hesitant, but I tried checking my own magic circuit directly. It's frightening to look directly at how much I've lost, but the fight against Berserker is waiting for us. I had to properly confirm the present situation. Huh? How should I put this? Somehow it seems the operation of my entire circuit has gotten heavier, but there's no damage to anything that I can see. Even though I had so much of it bitten off, my magic circuit is completely whole. For the time being, there shouldn't be any problems with using reinforcement, at least. I see, this is... interesting! Oh! Shirou was unaffected? What are you, boy? Most likely all that I lost were circuits that I don't normally use. Also, I'm getting a bit of feedback from your microphone, I think?
Oh no, that's not good.
Huh. In order to use my reinforcement, I only need to activate about 1 circuit in 4. Since I don't use any kind of grand magic in the first place, I've never used all of my circuits at full power. Huh. The circuit that I transplanted into Saber this time seems to have been one that I almost never use. How convenient!
Sorry, I'm trying to... Is the feedback still happening?
Not immediately, but...
Huh.
I think it's gone.
Where? Shirou?
I close my eyes and grasp the situation. There's no obstacle to my use of reinforcement. But this listlessness that assails my whole body, this inconvenience like I'm submerging water, is obviously because the ability of my whole body has gone down. In exchange, I have a sensation of being connected to something precious, deep within my body. I can't clearly explain where it's coming from or where it's going, but it's the faint line that connects me to Saber. That's what I've gained in exchange for the loss of my circuit. Something big and something warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shirou? Yeah, Shirou?
My apologies, Shirou.
I hear Saber's apologetic voice from behind my back.
When I received your circuit, I did my best to stop it, taking the smallest amount possible. But even that smallest amount is too much to take from someone. When I think that perhaps I might have left a scar upon you that will never heal, I can't find the words to apologize.
Aw, Saber!
She tried playing just the tip, but she got carried away. This is my mistake. If I hadn't been so lacking in strength, then you never would have...
Oh my god, please, between you and Chad and... Yes, me, alright, I will admit. But like...
I'm the only one who's allowed to play straight man to the sexual bits here. Whack.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, I'm sorry. No, that's not true at all. You don't need to apologize. The cause of all of this in the first place is that I put you in a bind by not being able to supply you with magical energy, right? But with this, we've resolved that too. I'll be able to supply you properly from now on. Yeah. With this, I can really proudly call myself your master.
But Shirou...
You don't have to worry about my magic circuit. It seems like I wasn't using it anyway, so actually, not having it is a relief. Shirou be like, oh, don't worry, it's a relief that you bored, like, something off of me, you know? That's just finding, like, numerology in my streams, huh? A pattern of 3s? You'll have to see.
Shit. No, hang on. I think they're onto something.
There's no brightness in Saber's complexion. Oh boy. When things end up like this, I don't know what I should say. Saber's recovery and the fact that I've survived, even if I lost my magic circuit. The magic circuit inside Saber. The wind of light, and Saber's dream of a day when she was young, and our naked bodies touching, lying under together until the morning. Calm down. Calm down. What happened back there was just a ritual for us to survive. I had to calm my heart. Like this, I might make some kind of mistake in the battle ahead of us. Is that Tosaka? No. The rhythm of her breathing is interrupted, and she raises a voice. It seems Tosaka has woken up as well. Yep, that's the autofill woman.
Oh.
All this dancing around the actual sex is somehow hornier than if Shirou just said, "Wow, Saber, your pussy was great." Popping a boner in front of Berserker may distract him. Shirou already got his guts rearranged once. We don't want that to happen again. That's Saber.
Oh, shit. Good morning, Rin.
Hey, Tosaka. Good morning. Her hair rustles and she raises her head. The poorly slept Tosaka is so sluggish and absent-minded that she seems like a different person altogether. I love that she's the definition of not a morning person. Thanks, Tosaka. It worked.
Yes, we've managed to replenish my magical energy, but in exchange, Shirou is...
No, I think I've only lost about a third, so it's fine. I can manage like this.
A third? I managed to stop at the smallest amount, but to think it should still have been a third. Such greed, even if I say so myself.
Oh, come on, Saber, it's okay! He's fine with you being greedy with him! Greedy, huh? Yeah. Even if you were starving, I could have liked if you could have been a little politer about it. What? Listen, Why does the actual consumption of someone's soul sound hornier than the actual porn?
It really does, doesn't it?
Perhaps it's because Tosaka has been added to it, but the distant atmosphere between us fades away. Yeah, with this we really are back to normal. I see then. This is fun, huh? With a single yawn, Tosaka stands up. The time for the decisive battle is close. Beyond the silent trees, Berserker and Ilia's will await us. If we don't strike down that whirlwind of death, then even all the meaning that we traded here tonight will be lost to us. Connection to Saber that's been built deep in my chest. In order to protect this through to the end as well, we had to strike down the strongest enemy. It's time! It's time!
It's time.
Interlude 11-1. And so their battle... Oh, is this the end of Archer's fight?
Oh, fuck.
Ooh. Next dinner, Saber is gonna ask for seconds and then thirds. And Shirin's just gonna wiggle her eyebrows at Shirou. Oh. And so their battle ended. Their battle to slaughter, to exterminate each other, closed its curtain with the destruction of the Red Knight.
No!
Jesus Christ. The hall that had boasted its magnificence bears no resemblance to its former self. The floor is broken into pieces. Layers of walls have been smashed through. The stairs have collapsed and the shattered marble has been ground to pebbles and scattered on the wind. The space has been thoroughly destroyed, and there's no trace of the former hall. Then, you could say that even time itself is off-center. The remains of immense destruction have made it impossible to recall even the scene a scant 2 hours before. A fitting sculpture has been built in the middle of those ruins. Easily exceeding 2 meters in height, it appears to be a statue of a man, roughly hewn from a great stone. It goes without saying. It is Ilia's BL servant, Berserker. The great statue stands motionless. His whole body is red, and holes have been torn open across his body. There wasn't a single place on the giant that went unwounded. First, both his legs are on the verge of collapse. Second, there is a mark where his head was severed. Third, his arms are only barely attached at his elbows. Oh god. Fourth, he has been run through from his shoulders to the inside of his leg. Fifth, a torrent of blood flows forth from his chest. Sixth, a cavity has been bored in his belly. Berserker does not move. Of course not. No matter how you look at it, that's a corpse. The fight itself had been decided in an hour. Just at such a wildly unexpected result, Berserker's master forgot herself. Normally she would need to set off right away on the hunt for her prey, but instead she stands staring vacantly at this miserable sight. I can't believe it! What the hell was he? She irritatedly mutters. The battle that had taken place here was nothing else but an insult to the little girl. Her servant is the strongest of all. There should be only one or two heroes who can stand against Heracles, the most famous of all the many heroic spirits. And yet that mysterious archer, whose origin was totally unknown, had defeated him. That Red Knight had fought on equal footing with Berserker, and as a result he had succeeded in killing Berserker, something that no one else had accomplished until now. It's unforgivable. Looking at it from her perspective, it was like being stabbed through the heart by a bug on the roadside. To be cornered by an opponent that normally should be crushed underfoot and only be allowed to beg for mercy. The self-esteem of the girl who prides herself on being the strongest won't allow such things. Ooh. I'm mad! To be killed six times by a guy like that. I'm sure that you weren't holding back, were you, Berserker? Huh. 6 times, huh? The statue doesn't answer. Perhaps he wasn't able to answer, or perhaps he felt no need to. Berserker stands there and gives his full attention to his restoration. Even from his perspective, this fight was wholly abnormal. His noble phantasm nullifies every possible attack. Anything outside of a super first-rate attack has no effect at all on his body. Because of that, it was rare even for him to be wounded. In the Age of Legends, after he accomplished his mighty labors, there were none who could wound him. And yet in spite of that, he did it 6 times. With single attacks each nearing a mortal wound in purity, truly Archer had accomplished it 6 times. It goes without saying that every one of those was by a different method. Even an attack of the highest purity won't work against Berserker a second time. If you say that is abnormal, that was especially so. If he were a hero with such a diverse set of abilities in the first place, he should have been able to grasp his true identity. But Archer's identity remained unknown even after his body had been pulverized. What should be truly surprising was a servant with such a contradictory nature. That is so interesting.
That's so fucking cool.
That is so interesting. Archer killed that thing 6 times. The barest hint of light flares in Berserker's eye sockets. If he had been summoned as a proper servant, no doubt he would have lamented this battle as regrettable. Whoever he was, Archer was a rare and formidable enemy. Would that his reason had not been stolen from him, that they could have whiled away at the hours-matching blaze of their heart's content. It's unforgivable! It's unforgivable! You've got some nerve to insult me like this! His mistress's voice rings through the hall. At that, the very hint of reason that had alighted within him faded away again. Now he is nothing more than Berserker. His only role is to overwhelm and pulverize her enemies, just as his mistress desires. Are your wounds healed yet, Berserker? She's so fucking angry though. There's no need to answer. Any wound that doesn't kill him will be healed completely in a few minutes. But to return everything to normal will require 3 days. I can't wait that long! That's enough! We are going to kill them right now! And that's her mistake. And that's her mistake. And that's her mistake.
She fucked up.
The giant wordlessly protests. That was almost instinctual. When it comes to fighting, Berserker possesses an intuition that resembles Saber's. Certainly, their enemies are weak enough to be easily swept aside. But if the servant Saber has recovered enough to use her Holy Sword, that's a different matter altogether. Berserker isn't one to shrink away from any mere Holy Sword, but there is always a worst case. His instinct tells him that if they are to fight that servant, they should be at their best readiness as well. What? 5 is more than enough, right? They're no match for you even without God Hand. Or what?
God Hand, Berserk. It was just a...
Fair. Or what, are you just going to let them go after they made such a fool of me, Berserker? Still 5, huh? Jesus Christ. Right. No one escapes from my forest. Yeah, I'll give you Rin and Saber. Kill them or toy with them. You can do what you want with them. I hate you so much. The girl leaps down the stairs. Amid the rabble, paying no mind to the blood-drenched Berserker, she walks to the exit. This kid sucks? Yeah. Then, as though she had just remembered something, she stops. Well then, let's go hunting, Berserker. But you can't kill Saber's master so easily, okay? I'm going to give Shirou the cruelest death possible.
I hate this beast.
With a playful giggle, the girl leaves the castle behind.
This white woman has no conception of morality.
No conception of good or evil. The sun is just about to rise. For her, this forest might as well be her garden. No matter where her prey might hide, she can find them with ease. As for her targets, only a scant few minutes of life are left to them.
Oh, everything's coming together.
Here we go. So then, I don't know why, but I was chased out of the ruins. Osaka chased me out saying that they had fixing up to do after that, and that they had to get changed anyway, that girls have all sorts of things they need to do. Damn it. What are you saying? Guys have all sorts of things to do too. I rest my back against the wall and grumble. The reason I feel like such a sore loser really is because I am one. For no particular reason, I look up the sky. I guess it's almost dawn. There's a hint of red on the eastern sky, and the forest is growing lighter little by little.
Red sky morning, sailor's warning.
The forest is quiet and calm. When I'm this relaxed, I can't believe that we're being chased or that we were doing that until a little while ago. I remember and then desperately sweep away my lustful desires! Right now I have to forget. If I stay immersed in memories of Saber, there's no way I'll survive, and whatever else, it's rude to Saber.
This is made so much funnier by the fact that the event we saw was him getting, like, spiritually eviscerated by a dragon.
Yeah. In the first place, Saber and I touched in order to save her. So there's no way it should hold any feeling beyond that. Oh, that's a lie. This isn't something I can play off with an excuse like that. I can't forget the scene I saw inside of Saber. But right now, I have to forget. Good grief, I don't have time to be feeling jealous over something like this. What we should be worried about right now is just how we're going to meet Berserk. That's right. I have to do what I can. He said that at the end, didn't he? Buck. I remember Archer's Buck.
We all do.
We all do. I couldn't ever bring myself to like him, but every one of his words sticks in my mind. is say help him. Bros before hoes. That stupid sexy back. I gaze at the tree branches. Speaking of things I can do, there are few enough of those to count. Even if there's just a little that I can do right now, I'll do it with all my strength. For form's sake, I plug a handy branch. After that, I pick out a few of the straightest branches I could find. Shirou, we're done now, so come in. I hear Tosaka's voice. Holding the branches I picked in my arms, I return to the ruins. Well, speaking of problems to come later, even if it was only for an instant, can I really pretend to act naturally around Saber after I caught a glimpse of her heart?
Over here, Shirou. Apparently Ren has something she wants to talk about.
I love that the canon war thoughts are there. you know? They really are. For the moment, it seems like I'm the only one worried about that. Saber is as undaunted as ever. Unlike me in my inexperience, she's probably cleanly compartmentalized. But yeah, I'll be right there. Damn it, like I'm going to lose here. It's stupid if I'm the only one who's blushing, so I'll feign tranquility with all my strength. I will never lose to Saber! There you are. Well then, I'll start the strategy meeting. Though even if I call it a meeting, we don't have any time to argue about it. There are only so many ways to defeat Berserker, so for the moment, can I have you just listen to what I have to say? Saber and I nod. As I am hearing the feedback again for some reason. Weird.
False.
Do you have your mobile phone next to?
No. It's firmly on. It's farther away than it usually is.
Weird.
Is it? Hold on. 1 minute.
We're waiting for a little bit. I apologize, chat. This is the payback the universe has in store for us for being on time today, you know? Okay, Lily, I got it. It has to be the plan, right? There's no way they're going to defeat Berserker on a head-on fight, even with Saber at, good form again. Shh. Hi, welcome back.
Hello. Hello.
I don't hear the feedback anymore.
Fantastic. I have just turned down my fan. Cooling solutions are not permitted.
Oh no, I apologize. I didn't know it was that. As a strategy, it's pretty simple. Normally, normal methods won't stand a chance against Berserker. I think if we're going to win, it's absolutely contingent on a surprise attack, and if we go for it, we have to kill him before he's able to counterattack.
I agree. Even if I were to match blades with Berserker, I'm not able to mortally wound him. If we're going to defeat him, I expect it will be decided outside of a sword fight.
Outside of a sword fight? You mean that we anticipate him and attack him before he realizes we're here? Well, fighting him head-on is reckless, but that's even more reckless. You really think that he's just going to let us ambush him? No, I'm not proposing some kind of optimistic plan like getting close to Berserker without him noticing. He's got Ilia's veil with him as well. At the very least, she'll be able to sense Saber's and your presence easily. I can't conceal my presence, so I'll be fine though. I don't know what the reason for it is, but I guess Ilia can sense Saber's and my presence? So if Tosaka is the only one who can conceal herself... No way! You're not saying that you are the one who's going to ambush him, are you? Of course I am. You're the one who's going to be the first to be targeted, and I will have the easiest time of any of us moving around. Lead the surprise attacking and taking him out from behind to me. Oh god, she's very fucking confident about this. I don't like this.
For someone whose last experience casting magic at a servant was null and void, she's really, really certain this is gonna work.
Take him out from behind? There's no way Berserker could be that naive. Of course not, that's why I'm going to have Saber make me an opening. Saber, how much have you recovered?
Normal combat won't be a problem. However, we should avoid using my noble phantasm. With my current level of magical energy, I'll most likely become unable to maintain my body in the instant that I use it. Even if I were to use it, its quality will be reduced, so I don't believe that it could defeat Berserker.
Ooh, Excalibur is not back in action?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's more than enough. I'm going to have you fight Berserker, Saber. With Shirou, of course. And I'll hide and watch how you're doing. From Ilia's build perspective, I'm just a bonus. So if I'm not there, I wonder if she won't think that I've just abandoned you and run off.
Oh, that's, well, I suppose it's not impossible.
If the chances are low, can you raise them for me? It seems like you and Ilia's build get along, Shirou, so if you talk fast, you can probably fool her, right? With a chuckle, Tosaka gives me a meaningful sidelong glance. I have some issues with it, but I'll do it. If I tell her that you run off, Ilia will believe me in the first place. I don't think she's the sort to doubt somebody's word.
Even if that's true, there's still a problem. I have no issue with facing Berserker, but I cannot allow Shirou to do the same. He won't survive even a single blow from Berserker.
Nobody's saying Shirou has to have a fistfight with him. In before Shirou has a fistfight with him. Shirou will back you up from a distance. It will be difficult for Saber to pin down Berserker by herself, so if she gets into trouble, give her a hand, will you?
That's ridiculous. Shirou isn't skilled in magic as you are, Rin. Even if you tell him to support me, what can he?
Shirou will figure that out himself. Although against Berserker, there won't be any room for a master to intervene. It's not just Shirou, even I could be just a handicap for you if I got involved. Even so, none of us has any room for playing around. I know that if Shirou gets killed, that's it for you as well, Saber, but I'm going to have you do it anyway. After all, this fight is a gamble from the very beginning.
That's true, but...
Jesus Christ. This is not looking good, you know? Saber falls silent with a sour expression. Looking at how Tosaka has gone quiet herself, she must know as well as anyone that what she's asking for is crazy. Their anxiety is totally appropriate. The night that I met Saber, when she was attacked by Berserker, all I could do was throw my body in the way. There's a high probability that this will just be a repeat of that night. Then, it's probably for the best if I stay away from the battlefield, but it goes without saying that I have no intention of doing that. I get that. I'll back her up from far away somehow. Huh? No. What's what I just said just really that surprising? I just had to back Saber from a ways off, right? I think I can manage that much. Saying that, I pick up the tree branch that I plucked earlier. The length is just right, and the flexibility is good enough. This is the first time I've done a reinforcement like this.
Is he gonna make a bow?
But I don't think the theory of it is wrong. All I have to do is layer reinforcement onto reinforcement and finish it into something more perfect. Besides, for something like this, I can reference the one that he had. What's more, my magical energy has been flowing through me for a while now. All I had to do now is just repeat the usual process he made me! I analyze and alter the fundamental structure. I analyze and strengthen the component materials. But since I'm starting with a tree branch, and its completed form will be his bow, that's not enough. It is! He's trying to, like, replicate his bow. That's
I
so
love that.
that's so cool too, because Shirou was part of the archery club
Mm-hmm.
before he just left.
Didn't he stop showing up because of Shinji?
Yeah, absolutely. And now Shinji's dead, and he's back to doing it.
Oh!
I should be thinking about it starting from the concept of its construction. If it can get even a little closer to the real thing, then at least in my own mind I need to make every possible supposition. Also, I need to point out one thing. That is 2 circuits active.
Mm-hmm.
Up until now, every time we've seen this scene, it's only been 1 circuit active, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I open my eyes. What had been the supple tree branch has at least taken the right shape, but how should I put this? Yikes. Might look like it, but it's not even close. It's clumsy, or maybe warped is the better word? But even so, I can feel that there won't be any problem using it as a bow. Now, all I need to do is use the same idea to prepare myself some arrows. Shirou, that was... Yeah, I figured out the gist of it during the thing with Senji. You said so yourself, didn't you? Not to overdo it. Look at him! Yeah, well, if you figured it out, that's a good thing, so it's fine for now. Rin is like, how the fuck did he transplant his circuit into Saber and now he's better with magic? Getting back on topic. Anyway, I'm going to have the 2 of you fight Berserker. I'll climb a tree ahead of time and keep an eye on things from up above. Then, when Saber makes an opening for me, I'll attack him from his blind spot above his head and skewer him with all the jewels that I've got saved up. That's it for my plan. It's a pretty simple thing. I don't think it's gonna work.
I'm just imagining Tosca stuck in a tree like a cat.
Hey, world without sunlight, thank you. I do not have ad revenue, and I do not have ads turned on. That is not something I'm gonna have for a long while. Don't worry about it. The only thing I'm, like, earning from YouTube is from direct subscriptions. Tosa cat!
Yeah!
Do you have any questions? Tosaka asks Sasuke with her gaze.
These jewels, they're your magic, Rin? Even if that's true, simple magics won't have any effect on Berserker's body. In order to wound him, we need to use an attack of the highest possible effectiveness.
I know. In other words, anything short of an A-rank attack is no good, right? As she says that, Tosaka pulls some jewels out of her pocket.
What are those jewels?
It's like a saving account that I've been piling up and piling up as for long as I can remember. Every one of these can instantly produce an A-rank raid magic. There were 10 of them, but I used one of them on you.
I see. Certainly Berserker won't be able to defend against the magic you used on me, then. He doesn't have anti-magic the way that I do. Even if it's magic, if it's A rank, it will pierce defenses without difficulty.
Exactly. I'd meant to use them a little bit at a time, but I can't afford to take it easy. As a special case, I'll smack Berserker with 2 or 3 of them. With a chuckle, Tosaka self-confidently puffs out her chest. But... don't you think you're being a little stingy?
I agree. It's not my place to say anything, but I think you need to be prepared to use at least half of them.
Hey, it's up to me how many I use, isn't it? Just how hard do you think I work saving these up?
She's grumpy.
Anyway, Saber and I wordlessly protest. If nothing else, Tosaka's life is at stake here too. If we fail because she's reluctant to use her jewels for no good reason, I won't even be able to laugh at it. I get it, I just had to use half, right? What? I wasn't being serious. I know how many I'll have to use, at least. Anyway, that's it for the plan. All we have to do now is find somewhere for me to hide, and somewhere Shirou can back up Saber from. Let's go find a good spot before Ilia's BL gets here. But yeah, World Without Sunlight. Basically, I got part of the monetization active, but not like the whole slew of things. Ads is just not a thing that I'm going to be doing. And even when I get the ads, I want to be very careful because I do not like ads. No one likes ads. I will not be interrupting my content for ads. Yeah, certainly we can't stay in these ruins any longer. All that's left to do is to do as Tosaka says and look for a spot to wait for Berserker. But before that... Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Which of the girls? Which of the girls?
I don't... How do I choose?
Come on, Nanya. Saber or Tosaka? Saber or Rin? Who's your waifu?
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I feel such like immense pressure. Tosaka, because Saber will probably care less. Maybe?
Sure about this? This is an irreversible decision. Are you sure about it?
No.
Okay, let's think about this the opposite way. Let's not think which one you prefer. Let's think which of the two girls you want to see a scene from right now.
I do like Tosaka.
We do like Tosaka.
I do like Tosaka a lot.
We do like Tosaka, so let's Tosaka then.
Okay, let's Tosaka.
I can't believe that she would, but Tosaka's not going to be reluctant about using her jewels, is she? Wait up a sec. Sorry to repeat myself, but you can't hold back using your jewels, Tosaka. I get that they're valuable, but they're not worth your life. Huh. You can only say that because you don't know the state of my wallet. Even you could go weak in the knees if you knew what just one of those goes for. I hate her. See, she's awful. I love her.
She's investing in crypto.
Like any talk about money is gonna make my knees weak. Fine, if you're gonna say that, I'll take responsibility. If we split the cost of however many jewels you use, that will work out for you, right? Shirou, you're going to end up in the... She's gonna findom the shit out of you, please no!
You fool.
Really? Guys don't do takebacks? We don't. I have a little bit of money saved up, and if it's not enough, I'll save up and pay you back. I'm having you use the weapons that you've been saving up, so I've gotta show you some sincerity too, right? Oh no! Well, I'm not sure if it's sincerity or just stubbornness. Whatever I have to say about it, it seems like I want to look good in front of Tosaka. Wait, what? The sides of your mouth are really twisted up, Tosaka. Yeah, I really am happy. And it's true that I've started having fun too.
No!
By the way, Miyakun, are you sure you don't want to ask what one of these jewels is worth? Oh no! The fandom! Well, they're not worth like 100,000 yen or something, are they? No, for expendable jewels that could... Well, that much could still be fine.
Oh no.
So 200,000? That's a bit of a half-hearted race, isn't it? But that's not it either. It's not like... It's not like
It's not the wrong choice.
It's like 250 something.
I wasn't expecting to get extorted.
Hey, don't you normally go up to the next level at a time like this? Why won't you ever go over 6 figures? I don't want to say it, but like 300,000? Like I said, why won't you go up to 7 figures? They couldn't be a million, Jin, could they? I take the plunge. Close. One more digit.
Oh my god.
But my landing spot was a hole directly into hell. I literally look up into the sky. I can't even calculate such a ruinous number. Or it's like if you did that much damage, any boss could be taken out in one shot. What's the matter? You're looking a little pale, Emiya-kun. No, I'm fine. I can do the math. I can do it, but it's pointless right now. Can't you? Then I'll ask just to make sure, but it's okay if I use the jewels, right? I'm going to give him everything I've got without holding back, you know? Fuck. I swallow my urge to say please hold back if you can. That's $70,000 each. Time to work for the Yakuza. Thank God Fujina's got connections. I can't believe we railroaded ourselves in the Findom bad end.
No, I believe that.
Tosaka, do you mind if I owe you? I say that with every ounce of bravado I can muster, though my voice definitely didn't show that. Not at all. I won't even charge you interest, so take your whole life to pay it back, okay?
This was the wrong choice. I should have talked to my girlfriend.
Without any hint of a joke, with boundless seriousness, Tosaka-san instantly replies, "No, but I probably won't be able to pay back a debt that big for as long as I live. I don't really want to think about it, but I have this feeling that Tosaka holds the reins of my life now." I was joking! I was joking about the Findom, please! Why do I ever try to joke about fetishes?
Should we go back?
Do you want to?
Yeah, that felt like a bad end.
I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not a bad end, actually.
Like, I understand that, but also... Oh, no, fuck it, we'll commit. We'll commit. We'll commit. We'll commit.
With inflation for the time this came out, yeah, Tom? How much is that? That is over $150,000 per.
Oh.
Did you say that let's go back or not?
I said we'll commit.
We'll commit. We commit to the Findom. We come out into a conspicuous clearing in the forest. The sun is just rising, and the forest is veiled in pale morning mist. Compared to the densely crowded trees of the forest, the view here is pretty good. Tosaka, this place isn't bad, huh? Yeah, it meets a bunch of our conditions, but I think it might be a little too clear. Like this, never mind me, you and Saber won't have anywhere to run. Is Tosaka going to buy Wonder Bread next?
Awful.
Of all streams to be late for, unable to watch consistently. Hey, Fei, don't worry about it, hon. We just became indebted to Tosaka forever. Tosaka now owns Shirou. Taking even our escape routes into account, Tosaka must be some kind of perfectionist or something. Let's try somewhere else. Don't worry, we still have time. That's how she shows love, it's okay. God, I love her. Tosaka retreats back into the forest. Sideways, Saber.
Wow. Profile Saber.
But looking off into the distance, Saber doesn't move even a step. Saber, what are you doing? If we don't hurry up, Ilia's veil will... Too late.
Uh-oh.
A chill runs down my spine. Having tasted it once, there's no way I could forget it. I can't see him, nor can I feel his presence. And yet, in spite of it all, this pressure that assails my body undoubtedly belongs to him.
And Bachi.
I found you! We're just doing this, huh?
We're just in it, huh?
A little girl's voice echoes through the forest. When did this turn into fucking horror? On the other side of the mist, from the far distant forest, something black is coming straight for us. Wait there. I'll be right there to kill you. We can see the other scene at some point, don't worry. That's why I'm saving all of the other, directions we could go. That way we can, mess around with the other bad ends later. And, the other, choices. Perhaps it's because I'm in a clearing where I can see the sky. I'm gripped by a hallucination that Ilia is looking down on me from the sky and speaking to me directly. Oh shit, did she find you already, Shirou? This is bad, the field of view here is too wide. Wait, what the hell is that speed? At this rate it won't even take 2 minutes to get here. Hey, what are you two just standing around for? I'm telling you this place is no good, if we don't go someplace else soon. Osaka grabs her hands, but there's no longer any time for that. No. Here is fine, Tosaka. We're fortunate enough that all three of us can fight together. I couldn't wish for any more than that. I'm telling you this place is bad, you idiot! It's too wide open here, Saber can't stop Berserker by herself, and no matter how far away you get, you will still be in his range, won't you? I know that you're worried about me, Tosaka, but all of us are in danger here. Besides, at this point there isn't anywhere for us to run anyway, is there? Woo, the acceptance here! No, that's don't make the girl a giantess, I was thinking about it. Knowing that he does have a giantess fetish, I was like, do not explain it like that, please. But, well, yeah, that's true. You're fine with this too, right, Saber? We'll meet Berserker here. Saber nods quietly. Jeez. I get it, alright? But if you get killed easily, I'm going to be mad at you.
Oh. I love Cinderella so much.
She's so cute, though. I suppose she must have accepted it. Osaka melts back into the mist. When it comes to taking to action, she really is quick. She moves away from the clearing, and once she's hidden herself in the forest, she skillfully begins climbing to the top of a tree. They're coming, Saber. Are you ready?
You too. Once the battle begins, do not step out in front under any circumstances. Whatever happens, I will not allow Berserker to reach here.
Here we go. The mist wavers. Within the morning mist, like a black darkness welling up out of it, the Mad Warrior appears, commanded by the white girl.
The white girl and her dude.
What a surprise! I thought for sure that you'd keep running all the way to the end. Or have you accepted your fate, Oni-chan? Have you accepted your fate to stay the night? There's about a 40-meter distance between us and Ilia. We're facing off across the whole width of the clearing. Saber's all healed up, huh? So that's why you decided to stop running around. That's unfortunate. Though it's cute you saying you can beat me because of something like that. Too bad, you're going to die here, Shirou. A giggle echoes through the forest. Did that not sit well with her? Saber standing next to me flares up with a killing intention, like she might leap forward right this instant. Jeez, this is boring. You've gotten awfully quiet, haven't you? What? Are you afraid to die? That's such a waste. If you beg for your life now, I might still be persuaded to forgive you. Has Tosaka climbed to the top of the tree? Even if she has taken up position somewhere, it will be closer to the center of the clearing. There, where the branches of the trees are layered together, they won't break just from one person climbing on them, and she won't be noticed either. I see. That's the attitude you're going to take right up to the end? And that's enough talking. I'll kill you right away, right along with Rin. Wait, what happened to Rin, Shirou? Ilia's tone changes. I guess you could say that it's just what you'd expect from Berserker's master. She has a firm grasp on what she can't, what she mustn't overlook. Tosaka's not here. She and I split up ages ago. Oh, you decided to split up? I see, carrying Saber, you just slow her down, eh, Shirou? By herself, she could run further away. Jealous than a way to samurai remnant, I'm so excited. That's right. I bet she's already left the forest by now. Even if you start now, you won't be able to catch her. I wonder about that. This forest is a Ninesburn boundary field. I can sense when someone enters or when someone leaves. Since last night, not one person has left. Ran is still in the forest. I can go and search her out after this. Ugh.
Shit.
Thank God. If all Ilia knows is when someone enters or leaves the forest, then Tosaka is still hidden. Or more importantly, Ilia really is simply taking me at my word. Certainly, Ilia is a heartless master. But even so, isn't that still a heartlessness that can be mended, Shirou? Shirou!
Kill her.
She literally kidnapped you and is trying to kill you! Focus on one thing at a time.
Destroy the child.
I can fix her! I can adopt her!
No, you can't, Shirou.
Ilia, before we fight, I will ask you one more time. Can you quit being a master and stop this fight? He just knows her as a weirdly young kid, yeah? I can't. After all, grandfather ordered me to. As long as I have Berserker, I am the Einsburn master. I have to kill the other masters and bring the Holy Grail home with me. Besides, I'm the one who's going to ask you one more time. I'm the head of the Einsburn family, so I won't say this again, but if you say that you'll reconsider your answer, I don't mind listening to what you have to say. Her voice is touched with a faint hint of expectation. But so long as Saber stands beside me, I can't agree to Ilia's words. My answer won't change. I am Saber's master. If you won't quit being a master, then I'll defeat Berserker and make you quit. I fix my gaze on Ilia and Berserker, and I declare. Instantly, the air in the clearing crackles as it freezes. I see. Then I really am going to kill you. I'll smash you to pieces right along with your conceit. Oh! Huh?
Oh no.
What is that? A crest appears on Ilia's face. No, not just her face. It's a huge command spell. My own command spell is no comparison to it. It's so massive that I can't tell. It's so massive that I can tell what it is from all the way over here. That's enough playing around. Destroy them, Heracles. A cold voice. And, as though in answer to it, the giant at her back roars. Ooh! Command spell envy, we all get it from time to time. A roar that shakes the ground. As though he's lost his sanity, the giant howls in agony, and as he does, every last ounce of his ability increases as he becomes a mass of deformities.
Who's that?
Saber.
Dear God. Are you saying you've only taken his reason, not driven him berserk before now?
It's only natural that Saber could tremble. I can't gauge a warrior's strength, but even I can tell that you mustn't touch that thing. Go. Kill anyone who gets near you, Berserker. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh no.
It sounded like an explosion. Raising a howl that no longer even resembles a human cry, the black giant bursts forward. Saber! And a silver light rushes to meet him. Berserker lands in the center of the clearing. The ground shatters. As though she were holding back a crashing meteor, Saber meets Berserker's impact.
So cool.
That's so fucking cool! It's a reenactment of a legend. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, look at this.
That's so fucking cool.
Oh, I love them so much. In the midst of the forest wreathed in morning mist, two shadows unceasingly cross. Berserker is simply overwhelming. If his sweep is a whirlwind, then his downward slash is a very waterfall. If she were to take one directly, no doubt even Saber could be mortally wounded. And Saber fearlessly deflects them head-on. Against those blows, swung like a storm, Saber beats them back with her own blows swung with body and soul behind them. If she didn't, she could be split in half right along with her sword. In that unceasing, endlessly unfolding hail of sword blows, in truth, every one of Saber's blows is swung with every ounce of her might. I think it is my favorite CG so far, too.
I think this might be mine, yeah.
The endless clashing of swords. Their ranges are different. Their speeds are different. The strength remaining to them is too different. All that's allowed to Saber is to hurl her sword into the blows of that hail of blades that she's unable to evade, and by nullifying the power of both swings, keep herself from being split along with her armor. To give an analogy, Berserker is a broken rock crusher. His blade whirling in every direction will mercilessly smash any who come close. If you reach out even slightly, that's the end. Unable to flee, you'll be caught in the whirlwind of the blade and smashed to pieces like gravel. No flesh and blood human could stand against such a thing. If you will only die if you get close, then there's no choice but to run away. But Saber places herself amidst that whirling and doesn't try to retreat. In which case, she will be ground down. It's natural for sparks to scatter from her sword, and fragments of her armor to fly off. She has already placed herself in a vortex where she might die instantly at any second. At that I can only gasp. In the far distant past, no doubt every one of the heroes who stood against the magical beast known as dragons was like her. They understood better than anyone the difference in their strength. Yet even so, they bet on a 1 in a million chance. A colossal violence surpassing humanity. To simply defend against it until it presents a single opening, and then the many warriors who naturally died when that miracle never occurred. Their battle is just like that. So dazzling that it takes my breath away, and yet it prepares only a single conclusion, where Saber, wounded further with every blow, is defeated.
The writing in this art is fantastic.
I love the writing so much. His roar shakes the earth. Berserker's whirlwind cuts through the air and blows away Saber parrying it. Each time that happens, Saber's armor cracks, and she seems as though she will be smashed into the ground. And without ever falling to her knees, Saber valiantly charges back towards Berserker. That too is already at its limit. Saber's breathing is ragged, and the movement of her body is visibly starting to grow weaker. This isn't a matter of creating an opening in Berserker. Most likely, in a few more blows, Saber will be split before that cleaver. Clutch in my hand is a bow.
Shirou.
Obviously, we're going to support her, right?
Like, yeah, of course.
In the instant that Saber is blown back, I shoot at Berserker. Something like this won't have any effect. But even so, it should be enough to divert his attention. That single arrow. Huh? The arrow that struck Berserker's temple had all the effect of a piece of garbage. It doesn't distract him at all. He didn't block the arrow, no. He didn't even notice it. That's right, Berserker. Ignore Shirou. After you've killed Saber, we can do whatever we want to him. Ilia's laughter echoes through the forest. God damn it. I can't do anything. Even though Saber is at the end of her strength right in front of me, I can't do anything. I'm much too weak. Whatever I do won't affect Berserker, and it will just break Saber's concentration instead. A slash. Deflecting the blow, Saber sinks into the ground up to her ankles.
Shit.
The returning blade is swift and heavy. The cleaver dancing above her head falls. The strong blade splits the earth as it shapes away at Saber's armor as she instantly leaps back from it. My teeth feel like they will break. In the end, am I really unable to do anything? I can't protect Saber, nor can I fight alongside her. There's nothing that I can do. All that I can do, after all. That's Archer.
Then imagine it, at least. After all, that much is all you're able to do.
He said that.
You don't need any external enemies. For you, the opponent that you fight is nothing else but your own image.
That's right. What was he saying? It wasn't his usual mockery. In those words, there was a weight that I have to comprehend now. No, if I say that. Wasn't every one of his words a warning that I can't afford to ignore? Saber is hurled into the air. That wasn't a leap as part of her parry. She was struck dead on. That slash like a gale struck Saber directly in her side. Saber stumbles to a stop. Ooh. Putting some strength into her numb fingers, she cuts violently and turns back toward Berserker. There was no way that the giant could overlook the opening that Saber has finally shown him. Stop it. My boys won't reach them. Doing something like that is useless, and handing the bow I made in imitation of Archer is useless as well. Holding, sorry. I still not understand. What can I do? What are these hands supposed to do? That's right. What would I need to have in order to save Saber? A bow is no good. A spear won't pierce him either. And it's not as though having the same weapon as my enemy could do me any good. To defeat the giant, to strike down that mountain of stone, I need a sword. Dazzling and keen that knows no damage to its blade. A sort of kings that will cut down the enemy with a single blow. For example, yeah, something like the golden sword that suited her well, that I saw in my dream. Yeah? Yeah? My head hurts. Enduring my urge to be sick, even so I can take my eyes off of Saber. But ironically, the more that I watch the moment of Saber's fall, the more I'm enfolded in an unspeakable discomfort. I perceive Saber and Berserker as though they're moving in slow motion. Switches are lined up one next to another. Saber doubled over just for an instant as she caught, and Berserker swinging his cleaver down with every ounce of strength in his body. The hammers are cocked down to the line, one by one. It was like a falling line of dominoes, and also, like the triggers had all been pulled at once. Come on, Shirou! Shirou, activate all your syndromes now! Saber! Berserker's cleaver sweeps through Saber. It was a mortal wound. Saber's body split at her waist, and a piece of meat sailed into the air. Ooh, no, that's wrong? What sailed into the air was just the silver armor. What Berserker swept aside was only Saber's armor. Saber deliberately created an opening to coax Berserker into making a great swing, and with all the strength remaining to her, she stepped into him at her greatest speed. Ooh! Black roar wells up, but there's no way for him to escape when Saber has already completely penetrated his guard. She takes a two-handed grip on her sword, steps still deeper inside that giant's reach, and with all the strength into her body, she cuts through Berserker. Beat that thing! Beat that thing!
Beats the thing.
I can't believe it! The giant who seemed as though he'd been rooted to the ground, Saber's blow throws him meters into the air. And then just like that, get back, Saber! Without even a care's delay, the real attack is unleashed. There she is! She must intend to throw it from as close as she can possibly get. Tosaka jumps down from a branch from far above his head, and as she lands, she hurls her jewels at Berserker.
9 Act 7. This still she's on.
Thank you. A rain of ice falls upon him, and in the midst of it, 3 great chunks of ice like spears with enough magical energy compress inside them to easily blow away a house. No! Dodge it, Berserker! The silently watching Ilia cries out. She must have understood just what a danger it poses, but it's already too late. The spears of ice aren't falling. They've been hurled out, and are accelerating to impale Berserker. There's no way that he can dodge them. The once-in-a-lifetime shotgun blast of ice perfectly synced to Saber's desperate blow. As for its power, it contains enough magical energy to kill Berserker 12 times over. But the arc of the cleaver sweeping through the air. As he's overpowered by Saber, with the cleaver that he instantly retook in his grip on with the other hand, he shatters the 3 chunks of ice. A shower of fresh blood, Rin!
Oh no.
Oh no, it was him. Ooh.
Oh.
Perhaps because he swept them aside with one arm, he wasn't able to completely destroy the ice chunks, and they sever one of Berserker's arms. And that's not all. The ice refreezes onto Berserker's arm and completely prevents it from moving. But still, all that was destroyed was one of his arms. Ah! Saber raises her voice. Of course she does. Because like that, Berserker's sole remaining arm sees Tosaka off the ground.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Just fucking gripped her, huh?
Oh no! Oh no! Tosaka's face twists in pain. With Berserker's strength, it would be easy for him to crush her in his grip. Tosaka! Oh no! Remember when we were saying cat Tosaka? Just hoisted like a cat.
It's the fucking this hand, but it's pinning her to the ground next to the onions that got dug up.
Ew! Who threw ice spears at my Berserker? You! I love that. Oh, weapon status has been updated? I mean, I'm not going to check it now. I'm sorry. I run. Even if I'm just dead weight, that's fine. it doesn't matter if I can do anything. Like, I'm going to just let him crush Tosaka like this? That's you.
Rin,
Although she shouldn't even have the strength left to stand, Saber climbs to her feet. I suppose she must be in pain from her ribs being crushed. With her head hung low, Tosaka extends her arm, and... I figured something like this might happen. With a grin, she fearlessly throws that out.
yeah!
Everyone gasps. Me, Saber, no doubt even Berserker is frozen in place. Even being mean can be taken too far. Right from the beginning, she predicted that it could turn out like this, and she didn't say anything. Ooh! Berserker tightens his grip, but it's just a second too late. Got you! Whoa! Rip!
Oh, fucking cool.
Bullets of light are fired! She used 4 of her jewels. That volley, fired from the closest distance she could hope to reach, this time truly ends the Black Berserker's life. No, it splendidly, with no room for any complaint, blew his life away.
It's so sick.
It's so fucking cool! I guess his head was blown off. With a splash, blood flies all the way over here, more than 10 meters away. There are things that obviously aren't blood mixed with it, but I doubt there's such a thing as overkill in this case.
Fucking microwaved him.
Our opponent was that monster. If she hadn't blown his head off with one shot, no doubt Tosaka herself could have been crushed. Oh my god, that's so fucking cool! Oh. I slowed down, my legs running towards her. Tosaka is still gripped in Berserker's hand, but the battle is over. Berserker's face is still shrouded in white smoke. Judging by the smoldering sound still coming from him, it must have been quite the explosion. No way. I hear Tosaka's voice. Dumbfounded, she stares into the white smoke. Oh, wait! Is it just my imagination? That Berserker's fingers wrapped around Tosaka's waist are digging even deeper into her sides? Oh! Tosaka is staring at the white smoke. That won't go on for long. The smoke thick enough to block eyesight gradually dissipates. After that... Oh! Berserker's face, that should certainly have been blown off from his body, is there. Meat Man. Cowed in the face of that demonic gaze, Tosaka has lost her words. Laughter rings out, controlling Berserker from the edge of the clearing. The Silver Master is laughing. I'm impressed, Rin, to think you'd be able to kill Berserker even once. But too bad, that's not enough to make Berserker disappear. After all, his body has to be killed 12 times. That's a Smith, you know?
Oh, beans.
Killed 12 times? I suppose she must have read some great secret in Ilia's words. Tosaka's astonished eyes twist with the faintest hint of regret. I see. I should have figured it out the instant I learned his true name. If he's Heracles, he should have had the Hydra's bow, but instead he just had a chunk of stone. So his noble phantasm isn't a thing. The symbol of the hero Heracles is... That's right. Heracles' noble phantasm is his own body itself. You know of them too, don't you? The 12 trials of Heracles? In order to atone for his sins, the great hero Heracles overcame 12 adventures, and as reward, he became immortal. Of course, you know what that means, don't you? Stock of lives. Layers of resurrection magic, right? Yeah, that's why he won't die so easily. The gods curse him with immortality. that he would live once for every trial that he had overcome. That's my Berserker's noble phantasm. God Hand. 12 labors. Oh my god!
Fuck, that's so cool. I also love like the dual perspectives that we get like one after another of like, oh, he earned immortality and the gods cursed him once for everything he did.
Yeah. Did you understand? Berserker died from that just now, but he still has 5 more lives. You didn't want to part with them, did you, Rin? If you'd used 5 times as many jewels, Berserkers really would have disappeared. I can barely hear Ilia's voice. At the edge of my vision, I can see Saber rushing towards Berserker.
Rin, run!
Saber runs toward him. Saber tries to somehow pry Berserker's fingers off of Tosaka, but they won't move an inch. There. It's fine. Crush her, Berserker. No!
No!
His burned eyes glare at Tosaka. Tosaka screams. The giant's fingers sink deeply into her sides as though to gouge out her guts. Oh no! Oh no, please! Shirou, do something! There's no escape from what lies ahead. Tosaka's body cruelly crushed. I run. What my opponent is and where I am right now, I throw all of that away. My thoughts have long since burst into flames. That's you.
As if I'd let you.
Saber swings her sword at Berserker. Like it's cutting a radish, the invisible sword is swung down on Berserker's defenseless arm. But there's no effect. The sword bounces off, and never mind there being no wound, the strength-crushing Tosaka doesn't even slacken. It must hurt her even more, even to move! As blood spills from Saber's lips, she desperately swings her sword.
Shirou?
Her face freezes at the sight of me running towards them. Let her go, you son of a bitch! Without even thinking, I slammed the bow into his back. The giant doesn't even twitch. Shirou, oh my god, you're approaching this? I guess from the very beginning, he had no eyes for me running up behind him. Ugh. My fingers go numb. Make my hands go funny just from hitting him. What the hell is this guy's body made of?
Run, Shirou.
Huh? At Saber's voice, I raise my head. Uh-oh. Next instant, my body takes to the air like a leaf. Shirou!
Oh boy.
I fall and roll across the ground like garbage. Thank you. There's such beautiful narration in this game, and then there's I fall and roll across the ground like garbage. It's so to the point. Berserker swept me aside with his sword that had been frozen. My bow that I instantly brought up to defend myself was easily shattered, and I was hurled all the way over here. Hey, Jade! Rin killed a little bit of Heracles, but you know, 12 labors. He needs to be killed 12 times, so we have to kill him 5 more times, actually. That's not good. I writhe at the intense pain. I guess the sound I heard of something breaking wasn't the bow. One of my arms is bent like a spider's.
Ooh, I hate that.
Each time I take a breath, my lungs hurt so much I want to break them. 8! Thank you for becoming a bookworm! What a moment! What a moment for the notification! Oh my god. Because of the blood welling up in my throat, I can barely breathe. Yeah, but it doesn't even matter. If I breathe, I'll just pass out anyway. Right now, it's better if I don't. I stand up. Right now, as fast as possible. I have to. I run. This time it's my turn. I'll just break his arm and save Tosaka. Shirou! I guess he must have eyes on the back of his head or something. My enemy swings his sword like he's swatting a bug. I can dodge it. That thing swung with his frozen arm. Like I'll be hit by it so easily.
Shirou.
I can take him in a fight? No, you can't. Damn it, my body's sinking. I guess it must have grazed one of my legs. Fuck off. You don't get to break somebody's leg when you haven't even touched it. That's Saber, by the way.
No, you can't. That's enough. Get away from him, Master.
I can't do that. I can't let Tosaka die to something like this. So what do I need to do that? A weapon. If it's possible, a blade would be good. At my feet are the remains of the broken bow. Berserker's sword is coming in above my head. I collect the shards. Sword falls. I don't have time to think. I pour in my magical energy. The reinforcements succeeded easily, but the sword fell. This time, the shards of the bow are reduced to wood chips, and my body, that I thought had evaded it, falls onto the ground. That's why there was no meaning in it, even if I managed to reinforce shards like these. If I'm going to do it, I have to do it all from the beginning. Because he's distracting, Berserker, don't worry. Heracles has hit the point where he's taking swings at Shirou to throw him off, which is nuts. Yeah! It shouldn't be anything I can't do. Anyone can mimic something if they have a model to work from. In other words, by repeating the fundamentals, the structure, the creation, the experience, and the years of his existence. The giant turns around. I guess he's decided to smash the annoying bug before he turns back to Tosaka. I climbed back to my feet and glare at the giant. I have no fear. My thoughts have long since caught fire. Just behind his back. Fully prepared for it to be her own destruction. The sight of her having decided to use that holy sword is burned into my retinas. Do we tell Saber? Is that the only way? Let her release her noble phantasm? Or don't do it?
Don't do it, because if she does it, it's not even gonna kill him.
Don't do it.
Like, it might kill him, but, like, not, you know.
The wind unravels. In Saber's hand, the golden sword begins to reveal itself. I told her not to use it. I told her that whatever happened, I didn't want her to use that sword. White girl, stop! It snaps. At that, the final line, just barely holding me back, snaps. Don't do it, Saber! Oh! My left hand burns. One of the command spells disappears.
Why? Isn't this the only way we have left, Shirou?
Oh my god! I don't care. I don't care about any of that. All I know is just that you will disappear if you use it. Oh. Just releasing the sword has done this to you. You can't use that sword right now. Just wait. If you can't use that sword, then I will make you one that you can use.
If it's an opponent you can't defeat in reality, then win within your imagination. If you cannot win yourself, then imagine something that can.
Come to think of it, it's obvious. That's all I'm able to do. So make something that won't lose to anyone. Picture something that's already the strongest. Deceive everyone, deceive even yourself, and imagine the strongest of all limitations. There's no way that it should be difficult. It's not impossible either. In the first place, this body is a magic circuit specialized just for that. I jump to my feet. My whole body is hot like it's caught fire, and my left hand especially is bright red.
That's my sword?
Saber's astounded voice. Her gaze is on the impossible thing clutched in my hand. Not me. I guess the sword itself must have a will of its own. Oh! As though it's being sucked in by it. Without stopping, the golden sword severs the giant's arm. Kosaka falls to the ground with the arm holding her, and the sword that I swung through it shatters like glass. Look at him! All the blood in my body flows backwards, but I don't have any interest in something like that. The sword broke. That's impossible. I copied that sword, so there's no way it could just shatter. It shattered because it wasn't enough. My own image did not live up to the sword. He used fucking Salvat Caliburn!
It's cool as fuck.
The light in his eyes turns toward me. You cut me in half this time for certain. His mighty sword is swung. I don't care about something like that. You're not my opponent. For Emilia Shirou, there's only one opponent he must fight. This one wasn't perfect. For the unbreakable sword to break is because there was a crack in my assumptions. If you're going to replicate something, it's not just its shape. You have to reproduce even its creator. From all around me, I hear a gasp. Before my eyes, I see the cleaver being swung like a hurricane and a sword on the verge of completion, completely defending me from it. I guess I must be entranced. I'm matching myself to the movements of the sword in my hand. Something like that is somebody else's problem. What I need to do right now is finish this into the real thing. It's also a mistake. Oh, that's you.
Oh. Emilia Shirou isn't suited to hand-to-hand fighting. Your battle is a mental one, nothing more than a battle against yourself.
I know that without you having to tell me. What I need to do is simple. Became projection. I wring out my mind. But I need to challenge this myself. I'm not allowed even a single fault or compromise. I appraise the concept of its construction. Suppose the essentials that make up its foundation. Recreate the materials from which it was constructed. Imitate the techniques that allowed for its creation. Sympathize with the experience that allowed it to mature. Reenact the years that it has accumulated. Utterly surpass every possible process. It's so cool! It's so cool! Now I tie fantasy together and make it a sword. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!
Our boy, he did it!
The giant roars, all sort of from his big tree in the background. I'm sorry, one moment. Just a little bit. The endless hail of blades swung against me like he's gone mad. The sword deflects every one of them. But that's all. I'm blown away. In the instant my consciousness returned, the sword must have completely entrusted itself to me. By the sword strokes that I have been blocking until now, I was easily blown away. There's no feeling in my arm. My wrist is swollen and red, so much so that it's a miracle I'm still holding onto the sword. My legs won't move either. I can only imagine that all of my muscles are disconnected. I can't stand up. I made a sword that surpassed them. Surpassed Berserker. But that's all that I did. For me, who can only make things, I can master the use of such a perfect sword. Shadow falls over me. No doubt he understands now who he needs to kill. As I was blown away, Berserker chased after me like a blast of wind and swung his mighty sword down on me. Mighty sword is deflected. Huh? As I stand there, dumbfounded, my hand is covered by someone else's. The very air shakes. As though to utterly destroy everything, the giant releases his greatest attack. But just before that...
Saber.
Saber.
Shirou, give me your hand.
I hear her voice closer than anyone's. If Berserker became a blast of wind to attack me, Saber must have become a gale to rush to my side. Yes! Running over to me, Saber turns about as though to embrace me. Oh! The sword of rock is shattered. The golden flash breaks the giant's cleaver to pieces. Without weakening in the slightest, it chops into his stone body, and then... Oh my god, it's so cool! If it resembles it in form, its power must resemble it as well. The golden sword sinks deeply into Berserker's body and engulfs the giant in a flash of light from the inside. That too is only for an instant. The light disappears, and the forest is enfolded in silence. Me and my knight GF picking up the strap at the same time to take down the biggest bear in the club. Holy fucking shit, Tom!
So sick.
The strength drains from my body. My body that was so hot begins to chill. The sword is turning into sand from the blade and starting to disappear. I vacantly stare at it. Until it fully disappears, cuddled together, we grip the single sword. Oh, that was so fucking cool. A wind blows through the forest clearing. The roar that had shaken the ground and the gale of swords that had cut the air are both already gone. Who the fuck is that?
Beats me.
So that is thy sword, Saber? Oh, that's Heracles!
Oh, that's Herc.
Oh! Giant who had been invincible is now unmoving and staring at the knight who defeated him. In a heavy voice, he says that.
Sorry, I can't keep track of whose voice is who. What's this mean again?
Saber.
This is the sword in the stone that chooses the king. My sword, lost for eternity. But
that sword just now was not thine, was it? It was no more than an illusion that he crafted. Saber quietly nods. In the end, it is only a fake. A sword that shall never exist again. However, Berserker's chest falls open. Roughly, from the place where the light cut him, he begins to crumble away like dust. Even that illusion cannot be taken lightly. To think that it should have felled me 7 times with but one single blow.
oh my god.
There was no emotion attached to the word felled. To the very end, the mad warrior martyred himself for his duty, and as though he were misting into the white air, he despaired his own existence. There he goes!
Holy shit.
There he goes! My head spins. It's probably the price for magic exceeding my limits. My rampaging blood puts pressure on my brain and puts me in a state of hyperoxygenation. And on top of that, I have a headache like the top of my head is going to burst off. With the enemy gone, whatever it was that was numbing my pain, that's called adrenaline, honey, is gone too. The headache and dizziness are discharged like a bill that's been saved up until now. The bill of the 7 jewels that Tosaka used.
Oh god, don't remind him right now. Shirou?
Shirou gave up his part of his circuit, Emilia, pulling a sword out that kills Heracles 7 times over. How cool, isn't it? Saber supports me as I fall, as I almost fall. But Saber shouldn't have any leeway to be worried about me herself. No, I'm fine. Bones are broken all over the place, but my life isn't in danger. That natural healing is working too, so I'll be alright. What a good payoff to the no human can defeat a servant message being hammered in over and over. Yeah? Yeah?
It's fucking brilliant.
That was so fucking cool. Him making the sword and Saber just holding it alongside him and just fucking swinging it at him.
I fucking loved that. What are you saying? You have such a great projection magic if we don't take a rest now.
No, but... Before that, there's someone I have to talk to. Nasu loves establishing rules and breaking them in a way that's sick as shit. That's you.
Ilia's here.
Saber readies herself. With hollow eyes, Ilia looks down at the ground where Berserker was standing.
Very well. I don't know what it is that you're planning, but we won't have to waste time chasing you down. Graciously die here.
No, you can't, Saber! Please don't do anything to Ilia. Now that Berserker's gone, Ilia is... With my remaining strength, I stop Saber. I guess she hasn't noticed us. After Ilia stared at the ground. No way. Berserker? Did you... die? Like an abandoned child, she whispered that. Ilia. Ilia absent-mindedly raises her head. And suddenly, like an unstrung marionette, she falls to the ground. Huh? Not knowing why, I look down at the fallen girl. And as though to take her place, Tosaka stands up. It seems she got free when Berserker's arm disappeared. Oh god. I guess I must have relaxed when I confirmed that Tosaka is safe. Dizzily, my consciousness begins to fade. But I can't afford to whine about something like that right now. And if we have defeated Berserker, we're still in the middle of the forest. From here, holding our battered bodies together, we have to make our way out of the forest. I look up at the dawn sky. The town is far away, and I can't find a single uninjured companion, nor a single part of myself that's whole. Even so, I greet the dawn. The night that I was prepared not to survive. Leaving our greatest enemy behind, we leave the winter forest. Oh, what a fucking scene, though. What a fucking scene, though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. The sky is painted the color of thin ink. Yeah, Shirou is fucking sick as hell. Is it daybreak or twilight? Sorry, oh god. Oh god, what did I do? My apologies.
Were you breaking everything again?
Yeah. To me, looking in from outside, I can't tell one way or the other. The sky is white and field high. A sky I couldn't reach even if I stretched out my hand. And clouds that seem as though I could grab them if I were just to reach for them. This is one of those battlefields she once raced across. Now there's no cavalry to command, nor a field of golden grass stretching as far as the eye can see. What stretches out beneath the painted sky is nothing more than the remains of a battle that she has long grown accustomed to. It raises no emotion within her. No doubt, scenes like this are an everyday occurrence for her. In her heart left behind here alone, there is nothing. She who had entrusted herself to the golden sword, just once she exhales a deep breath and slowly relaxes her shoulders. I suppose the battle is over. After she gazes across the remains of the soldiers she destroyed, she carries herself back to her camp. This is the second translation, yeah, the beta new one. That was the battle that she had experienced. Her calm demeanor isn't any different from how it is now. No matter what sort of predicament she found herself in, she was just as I know her. And so I dreamed the king's dream. From the time she drew that sword, she had ceased to be a person. That was because when she ascended to the throne, in place of her father, she became a king who commanded many knights. It's good, it's very good, it is very flowery, sometimes to its own detriment. I think so. I feel...
Sorry. I was just going to tack on to what you said, that there's times where it feels like it's a little overly poetic, but like a little clunky is almost how I'd describe it, but usually pretty smooth.
I think it's because of the way the construction is presented that it makes it difficult to read on a first read. Like, you have to sometimes read a sentence a couple of times to like, oh, okay, this is the intonation, I'm going for this, okay. The
translator loves commas.
Yeah. But it's good. It's actually quite good. Oh, I kind of fixed the bug. Wait. Status. I fixed it. We can read Sabers later, but I fixed it. I think it's still fucked on the skills. Yeah, the skills is fucked, but the actual details and history of the servants is like active, which is good. Don't worry about it.
Well, we still haven't seen Caster.
We haven't seen Caster. She was known both as King Arthur and as Arturia, and she who had dreamt of becoming a knight changed her life completely. She conducted herself as the son of the king. After all, the one who commanded the knights and ruled many domains had to be a man. The only ones who knew that the king was a girl were her father and the mage. She literally covered herself in iron and sealed that fact away for her entire life. Naturally, it wasn't as though there weren't any who thought it suspicious, but the king of knights who bore the holy sword was both invulnerable and ageless. Excalibur bears the protection of the fairies, and it renders its bearer immortal. Because of that, there were none who questioned her slender frame, and her face that could only belong to a girl became a source of pride for knights in their fair king. Truthfully, she was invincible. There was no fault in her physique or her appearance. What the people cowering in fear of barbarian invasion had sought was simply a strong king, and what the knights who rode across the battlefield obeyed was merely an exceptional leader. She fulfilled all of those conditions. Because of that, in truth, there was none who questioned just who or what the king was. Be she woman or child, it made no difference. The important point was that if she could defend the country as its king, that was enough. The new king was just, and she stood on the front lines of every battle and destroyed her enemies. Many of her enemies and many of her people died, but the king's choices were always correct, and she fulfilled the role of king better than anyone. There was no room for any doubt there, and in the first place, there was no meaning in doubting her when she was right. On the battlefield, she knew no defeat. Her army that had re-established the lost Cataphracti rode quite literally freely across the battlefield, crushed the barbarian infantry, and razed the walls of countless fortresses. Perhaps she stood always at the front because her country stood at her back. In order to go out to battle, she had to discard many of her own people. And so long as she went out to battle, she had to cut down all of her enemies. In order to fight to defend her country, it was common practice to drain her own villages dry to supply the camps of her army. And as a result, I doubt if there have ever been any knights who killed as many as she did. I don't know if she felt that weight on her. There's no way for me to know that from a dream like this. But there was no doubt in her racing across the battlefield. When she gave herself to the throne, too, she didn't even narrow her eyes in sadness. A king is not a person. If she held human emotions, she couldn't be able to protect her people. She held herself strictly to that oath. She resolved every problem, and she so dedicated herself to affairs of state that everyone was astonished. She took stock of her land without a single error, and she disciplined her people without a single mistake. And so, after she had ended countless battles in victory, led many tribes in total harmony, and punished hundreds of criminals, King Arthur doesn't understand people's feelings, was whispered by her closest knights. Did everyone harbor this disquiet? The more perfect she was as king, the more they held doubts in their ruler. Someone who doesn't understand human emotions couldn't possibly govern people. A number of famous knights came to depart from the White Keep, Camelot, and the king accepted even that as natural happening, and reckoned it in her governance. And thus the fair king who had been the pride of her knights became isolated. But that was a trivial thing that was of no concern to the king. No matter if she was abandoned, feared, or even betrayed, her heart would not change. It was inevitable. From the time she decided to take the sword, she had thrown away her emotions. And so, what she thought was the final battle began. The battle at Baton Hill ended in a great victory, and in the face of the overwhelming gains she made on the battlefield, the barbarians sued for peace. And thus her country that had awaited only its destruction earned a moment of peace. The war in which they relied upon an absolute hero was over. And Britain finally began to return to the country that she had dreamt of. The scene fades away. Somewhere in my head, I think that the dream is over, and now I'm waking up. All that's left is for my consciousness to fall away before I can even count, and for me to wake up again. But before that, there's something that infuriates me. She's an idiot. Sure, she was strong, and she might have been the greatest at fighting as well. But even if that's true, isn't it something else entirely whether she was suited to it? I'm angry with the people around her too. If she didn't realize it herself, then at least the people around her needed to tell her, or she'd stay like that her whole life. Good grief. All of them standing silently by like that, why didn't even a single one of them stand up to tell her that truth? Ah, I love the Artoria flashback so much.
She's so cool.
I love her so much.
We are not immune to Saber.
Only the worst kind of idiot strives to be king. This is why you always keep in mind that Saber, despite being a king and a knight, or perhaps because of that, was always deeply, unerringly pragmatic. I love this so much. I opened my eyes. We left Ilia's forest, and it was yesterday afternoon when we returned to the house. Tosaka said that the injury to her stomach was hurting, so she went back to her room, and I still had a terrible headache, so I went straight to sleep. It probably also had something to do with the heavy baggage that I was carrying. When I got back to my room and lay down, I couldn't even get back up after that. Since Saber was the only one of us who was fine, Tosaka and I entrusted Saber to guard the house and went to sleep, and then I slept for half the day, huh? Yeah, and I guess the headache is gone too. You also didn't expect that we'd get this much capital G gender out of Saber's story as early as this. It's good, right?
I was gonna say, I was really, really... The transcoding is very strong.
Right? It is actually.
It's very there.
It is...
Like, it's less of a headcanon thing than I was expecting it to be. There's a lot of notes to pry into there.
Yeah, no. It is not a headcanon. It is explicitly in text intended to, like, have things there. Ooh, it's so good! That is why... Listen, I've been waiting because I knew that. I knew that there was capital G gender. I've been waiting to actually get to parts that were... And every time we're talking about Shirou, like, being a trans man, every single time I'm, like, in my mind connecting, like, little things here and there with Saber too, you know? Like, the feel that the whole story gives when you have this reading, and how it's supported by the very own story, giving you these kind of things. It's so good.
It's very, very interesting.
I breathe a sigh of relief. When we fought Berserker...
You were meaning to share the gender with me.
I was. In fact... I had my titty pills a little bit ago, so, you know.
It's okay. I gave gender a shot, not a fan.
Hell yeah. The headache that came up upon me when I copied Saber's sword was nothing to laugh about. If it had gone on like that, my headache probably could have abandoned me before my body did. Then... Saber is sitting beside my pillow with her knees folded beneath her. Saber? What's the matter? Why did you look so depressed first thing in the morning? Did something happen while I was asleep? Yeah, I have been sleeping, don't worry. And I'm well stretched.
No, I just had a dream.
Ooh!
No, it's nothing. More importantly, let's have breakfast, Shirou. It's time to get up.
Saber stands up and quietly leaves the room. I can't wait for some slice of life breakfast to calm down from the intensity of this bullshit. I don't understand why Saber is acting so strangely. I don't understand it, but, well... When she was sitting by my bedside like that, was she looking after me? In the instant that I think that scene is resurrected. What the hell am I thinking? I shake my head and clean away my unclean thoughts. Shirou may be damaged, although he may have been fucked up and broken and injured and bleeding, but he will always have enough blood to go to his fucking crotch.
God bless him.
That night when I lay with Saber, it was nothing more or less than as her master. If I don't think that, I won't be able to look Saber in the eye. The puberty is still in full effect. Together, keep it together. When we came back yesterday, it was the same as always, wasn't it? That's fine, it's fine. Well, no, I was just exhausted yesterday, but in any case, I have to keep it together. In the first place, if I'm like this, I'll obviously just be a nuisance for Saber. Right? Right now I need to calm down and make breakfast. I take a deep breath and get changed. It's just after 9 o'clock. Saber hasn't had anything to eat since lunch yesterday, so she must be pretty hungry.
Starving white girl.
Starving white woman. Yes. After 9 o'clock, can't really call it breakfast anymore. But thinking about Saber too, I decided to make a relatively heavy breakfast.
Shirou, it's just you and me this morning, but should we not wake Rin up?
Yeah, everybody's probably still asleep. Given what happened yesterday, there's no reason to force them to get up. After all, If I make food, they will come and eat it on their own.
Is that so? Well, then, I would much appreciate it if you could cook quickly. After all, it is already the slain.
She is hungry. What do you mean you can't call it breakfast after 9, yeah?
Sitting down at 4 p.m. with my Hot Pockets, like, breakfast.
You don't even wake up at 9, yeah? I have my breakfast at 1 p.m. I get it. I'm feeling good too, so when we're finished eating, let's head to the dojo.
Head to the dojo? Do you mean you still intend to continue training in swordsmanship with me?
Why not? It's our daily routine, isn't it? Oh my god, she's so precious! What's the matter, Saber? Did I say something weird or something?
No, I just assumed that we wouldn't be training anymore. Now that Berserker has been defeated, I thought there was no longer any need for you to be so determined.
What do you mean, Serja? 1 p.m. is a completely natural time to have a nice piping hot cup of hot chalky milk.
No, wait, hang on a second. You don't even eat breakfast.
My breakfast is the milk.
Yeah, that's not eating.
Well, you don't know if I chew on it?
I sure fucking hope not. It's milk.
I see. When you put it that way, that might be true. Berserker, the enemy that Tosaka, Saber, and I teamed to defeat, no longer exists. It was because we were targeted by an enemy stronger than us that we teamed up. And that was also why we'd continued our makeshift training. Yeah, but we're gonna keep training. I'm still a novice. Your real feelings come out when you hold a sword. It's easier for me to talk to you that way. Well, no, when I say easier, what I really mean is more fun. Oh.
I wonder if I really am showing my true self in the dojo.
Cute. But literally nothing about your circadian rhythm is human. Okay, it's not piping hot, it's just like... Actually, no, it's not piping hot. I hate when it's like too hot to drink. I prefer it like temperate. You definitely are. Or at least you're not holding back, right? That's easier for me, and it's good if you can relax too, isn't it? Anyway, it's part of my routine to spar with you all morning. Please don't take one of my few pleasures away from me.
This is all I have, Saber, please.
I need you to know that in one single sentence, Shirou has reminded Saber that 1, it is a little pleasure for him, and it is also something that relaxes her to just beat the shit out of him until he fucking passes out. I pulled some ground beef and green onions and some eggs with mushrooms and onions out of the fridge and head for the kitchen. All that's left are some breadcrumbs, some sake, some salad dressings.
Well, if that's how it's to be, I don't have any arguments against it.
Huh? Oh, it's actually cocoa milk. My bad, I didn't know there was a difference in English. It's cocoa milk. Saber mutters something over in the living room. I've moved over to the kitchen, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch what she said. I love her so much, though.
Sorry, I hate to be pulling attention away from what's going on in the scene. What's the difference between chocolate and cocoa milk?
I think chocolate is more dense, and cocoa milk is just like cocoa powder in the milk. Like,
What?
I'm pretty sure choco milk may be thicker and more chocolate.
So when you have breakfast, you just have a glass of warm milk?
A glass of warm milk with like a teaspoon of cocoa powder.
That's like... Don't people drink warm milk to go to bed?
I've been told that before. I don't know. It's how we have always done it here. Like when I was little and I went to like classes, I ate like cookies with that, and I like dipped the cookies in the chalky milk. But like,
Sorry, I'm like reeling. I don't know why I can't comprehend that.
Hot chocolate / cocoa is made by mixing a liquid with a powder. Chocolate milk is milk given some chocolate flavoring. That's about it. I see. Interesting.
Gotcha.
Cocoa powder or cocoa mix? Big difference. Fair.
Like, I guess I do ultimately have to drop this, I think. But it's still distressing me.
I'm just a nocturnal duende. Leave some warm brown tit liquid to appease her. Let she haunt your domicile with bottom noises. Thank you, soundboard.
I am also, for all intents and purposes, American.
Fair. Onion, breadcrumbs, sake, egg, and salt. I need them together. Need or Ned? Need, right?
Need.
Then knead that mixture into 400 grams of ground meat. For breakfast this morning, I've decided on daring hodgepodge of Japanese ingredients and techniques cooked into hamburger.
Speaking of American,
we are giving a hamburger to the white woman. Yes.
Rin, you've awakened.
I hear Saber's voice from the living room. Osaka. I turn around as I'm preparing the food.
I love morning Rin.
Morning, sorry, can I have some milk, Shirou? She's like me. She's like me.
This keeps happening.
She's like me. She's just like me. For real.
Oh my god.
Osaka arrives looking irritable and takes some milk out of the fridge. Oh, I overslept and my head hurts. Well, you're working awfully hard this morning, aren't you? Leave it to Wak to accidentally kill the failed woman. I don't kin Osaka, she's too mean. I don't know what happened to the bad mood she'd had until just now, but as soon as she looks at me, her eyes light up. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty hungry. You're a lifesaver. Is that right? But you're the one who's being saved, not me. Maybe this is what Dad meant when he used to say that whenever somebody wins, somebody else has to lose. I've thought this for a while now, but you're pretty sharp, aren't you? Oh, just as sharp as anyone else. Well, thanks for making enough for me too. With an airy wave of her hands, she returns to the living room. Hamburger is a zero-sum game. With her glass of milk in one hand, Tosaka plops down at her place at the table. She's... I love her! I love that this is happening! No. How should I put this? Should I call it queenly or just extremely relaxed?
You're looking awfully slack this morning, aren't you, Rin?
Well then, just what you'd expect from Saber. She just plainly says something I could have had a hard time saying. But without a care in the world, she lets Saber's criticism slide off of her with a disinterested shrug of, yeah, I guess. Of course I'm going to slack off a little. Now that Berserker's gone, it's just Caster, Lancer, and Assassin left, right? Compared to Berserker, there are no great shakes. And right now, you could rout them with strength to spare, couldn't you?
I don't know. Neither Lancer nor Assassin are straightforward opponents. You would think Lancer would be, but... Never mind the fact that we haven't even met Caster, have we?
Oh, don't be so modest. You couldn't find any ordinary heroic spirit who'd be a match for King Arthur, could you? Up until now, you've been crippled by a lack of magical energy, but we've solved that as well. There's not a single servant that could stand against you as you are right now. Saber narrows her eyes at Tosaka's words. I I feel the same way. What she said just now isn't something I can just let pass. Osaka, you figured out who Saber is? More or less. I've only been convinced of it since yesterday. After all, there's only one hero who could wield a holy sword of that caliber. Well, I was surprised to find out that the legendary King Arthur was a girl, but when she's right in front of me, I have no choice but to believe it, do I? Besides, legends are conveniently altered all the time, right? I don't know if Saber hated herself or if the people around her did, but it's certainly inconvenient for a king in the Middle Ages to be a girl, wouldn't it? In that case, no matter what anyone said, she'd be treated as a man. Osaka's tone is the same as always. Also more gender. And listening to her, Saber doesn't seem especially concerned about it either. Wield a sword of that Excalibur? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Both of you in chat! In fact, she seems to be agreeing with Tosaka, and there's no sign that she intends to deny any of it. I suppose that means that she's plainly admitting it. Heroes of the sword are chosen to be servant Saber. By that reckoning, she must surely be the greatest Saber of all. The archetypal hero of England. The wielder of the holy sword whose name is known by all even in this far distant country. But in that case, what should I make of this? At the end of the legend of King Arthur, the curtain falls on the death of the king. No, even a hero is still a person. To die at the end is completely natural, but there are no heroes who died ordinary deaths. King Arthur shouldn't have been any exception to that. I seem to remember that King Arthur's end came by war. At the great decisive battle at Camlan, King Arthur, who had unified Britain, and whose foreign enemies should have been vanquished, at the end had to fight an enemy she never imagined. The army of her own country that she was supposed to defend. Betrayed by one of her most trusted retainers, King Arthur was attacked by the very knights who had charged across the battlefield with her, and she slew them all. Although Arthur slew the enemy commander, she was mortally wounded, and she entrusted her sole surviving knight, Bedivere, to relinquish her holy sword. Cross this blood-drenched battlefield and pass over the hill. You will find a deep lake there. There, you will cast the sword into it. But Bedivere didn't obey that command. Once, twice, fearing the loss of the sword, Bedivere falsely reported that he had cast the sword into the lake. Each time, Arthur commanded that Bedivere abandon the sword, and on the third time, the king's command was obeyed. And then it said that King Arthur, having confirmed that the sword had been relinquished, there she drew her final breath. Best boy, Betty boy, yeah? More importantly, Shirou, what do you intend to do now? Then, all of a sudden, Tosaka glares at me. What am I going to do? About what? I'm asking you about the dangerous kid you've got sleeping in the tatami room. I told you to leave her there, but you're the one who insisted on bringing her all the way back here, aren't you?
I would like to say something about this as well. Even if she has lost Berserker, Ilias is a dangerous master. I can't imagine what you're thinking sheltering her, Shirou.
Aha, Jesus allegory. You brought her home! You brought it home, Shirou! Hey, come on!
Get rid of it.
Exactly, you should just hand her over to Kirei. At the worst possible time, they're completely in sync, and they glare at me. Yeah, that's right. Berserker disappeared and Ilia lost consciousness. She made no sign that she would wake up, and I couldn't abandon her there, so I brought her back to my house. He has to collect all the white girls. No.
White girl gotcha.
I fucking hate this. Naturally, Tosaka and Saber both opposed it, so I carried Ilia myself. So that was the heavy package you were saying you were carrying, huh? Masters who have lost their servant have no choice but to either run before they can be killed by another master, or seek shelter at the church. Tosaka is telling me to hand her over to Father Koromine, but I can't imagine that that priest could look after her, so right now I have her sleeping in the dummy room, but...
Shirou, your idea is a noble one, but it's dangerous to involve yourself with Ilia. Right now, there's still time. As soon as possible, you should either entrust her to the church or strip her of her command spells.
Saber, are you really serious about that? It seems like it will be awfully difficult to talk her down. I can't exactly just leave her alone, can I? Ilia's still a kid and she was acting weird. Besides, I'd feel kinda sorry for her if I handed her over to Kotomine. Sorry for her? Wait a second, she put us through all of that and you still have the nerve to say something that stupid?
I agree. You've become too emotionally involved with Ilia, Shirou. Has she not tried to kill you multiple times now?
The two of them stand even more firmly in solidarity. But I can't allow myself to be browbeaten here. Absolutely, Ilia was her enemy, but she didn't have any ill will. If she has someone to properly tell her what to do, she wouldn't do that kind of thing anymore. Besides, I told you, right at the beginning, didn't I? That I'm not fighting to kill the other masters, I'm just fighting to end this fight. He's too soft.
That's not an answer to that, Shirou. That does not counter them at all. I understand that.
Although she doesn't seem totally convinced, Saber softens her voice. However... I see, so you're saying you're going to forgive Ilia's Biel for everything she's done? She took master's orders than us as well. She might have even killed more than one of them. But you're just going to save her in spite of that, are you? Well, that's right. Ilia said that after I allowed Shinji to escape, she killed him with her own hand. Shinji used Rider and tried to kill the students at the school. I understand that if that was something he did as a master, then it's his own fault if he was killed in exchange. Even so, I was friends with Shinji for years, and when I think about Sakura, I can't write off what Ilia did. But if we go down that road, there's no end to it, is there? If Ilia isn't the master anymore, and she regrets what she's done, then I think that I should help her. He's so soft. Yeah, you are right. But Shirou, I have no intention of writing off what happened to Archer. She killed my Archer after all. The atmosphere hardens. We stiffen up as we look each other in the face. There. Hug! What? Servants all disappear in the end, don't they? It's a failing as a master to be worried about something like that, don't you think, Ren? Kick her out immediately.
Big window.
The girl in question, who ought to have been asleep in the tatami room, makes her appearance. That's you.
Yes, you.
I have got no business with you. I don't identify you, so could you please not get so angry? I'm trying to find a good spot to stop this for today.
You're good.
You good?
I can get through the scene, yeah.
Really, as a fellow lady, I'm embarrassed. You're so much older than me, but you've got no manners at all. Ilia shrugs her shoulders as though she's disappointed from the bottom of her heart. That's both of them at the same time. What did you say? Saber and Tosaka companionably flare up together once more. Companionably.
I like that word.
The two of them are another level more impressive, in a different sense from before. Well, I won't scold you about it. After all, now isn't the time for me to be concerning myself with you. Saying that, Ilia twirls about to face me. Ilia? My thanks, Master of Saber, for your thoughtfulness in worrying about my safety. Despite being your enemy, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I stare at Ilia in astonishment. I suppose it must have been plenty unexpected. Saber has fallen silent as though she's as shocked as I am. And if you ask about Tozuka, she's drinking her milk as she looks at Ilia with a truly dubious expression.
He's powering up.
She is not beating the categorical allegations. Then, Ilia with her usual grin. Just kidding. Like I thought, Shirou, you really are my Oni-chan. Blah. Flies right at me and wraps her arms around my neck. What the hell are you doing? With a cough, Tozuka chokes on her milk. That's Saber's pride, though. That's Saber's pride. And although she gives a straight face, I could swear I hear a crack from the vicinity of Saber's temple.
Unhand him, you impudent.
Saber dashes to my side, but Ilia is not to be taken lightly. Using my neck as a fulcrum, she spins around behind my back. Just which of us is the impudent one? Presuming to give me your opinion even though you're just a servant? You're 100 years too early for that.
I have neither any duty nor desire to obey you. If you have time to be hurling insults, then get away from Shirou this instant.
She's just backpacked on him. She's just koala.
Hate this creature.
I'm not listening. Hey Shirou, let's play like we did yesterday. They call that a piggyback ride, don't they? Ilia spins around and around me. And Saber turns around and around trying to catch her.
It's stupid.
I fucking love this. This is bad. I don't know what's bad, but it is. The two of them won't stop glaring at each other. Thank you for not saying the spoiler just in case. You love Ilia so much, she's just a gremlin. She's just a little gremlin. And it's probably because she's watching from a distance. Tozuka wipes the milk from her lips as though nothing happened. Hey, you two, I don't really care either way, but he will die if you keep doing that. Huh? The two of them peer quizzically into my face. That stands to reason. I'm presently in a real pinch and having the life choked from me right before their eyes. Well then, let's check the situation. For now, I put the hamburger I made from pounded, unneeded mince into the fridge. First, Tozuka is comparatively quiet and composed. Should we stop now, actually?
Now might be a good time, yeah. It seems like this is leading into a thing.
Yeah, I just realized that it was just now that the comedic scene with Ilia stopped. So, why are you like that, Tom? Why are you like that?
No, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Get smash burgered.
Ah. No. Shh. No. White woman, no jump scare. We are leaving. No, we're leaving. No white woman, no white hamster, no. Why am I like this? Tom says, having a crisis.
No, I think that's supposed to be in contrast to you.
Why ever could that be a thing, said extremely cultivated audience.
Like...
Okay, listen.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Listen. I will admit that there is 2 of the emotes currently available on my channel that may or may not be based off of emergence, but, hear me out, that means nothing. That means nothing.
Like, no one's talking about those. It's everything else you've done, you see. It's every action you've taken for as long as I've known you. You understand.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
You've dug your own grave, now lie in it.
Oh, I really do like digging my own grave, don't I? Thank you, Tom.
Yes,
Listen.
you do.
Listen, I do sometimes. Oh, Han, come on. Anya is also a joy to be around with. It is not just me. You gotta.
I'm here to keep you in line.
Please? Is that a threat or a promise?
Job description?
Fair? Fair. Ooh, I like that. It's more dehumanizing that way. It's like less close.
Oh, Lord.
You are the one who chose to be on this ride. You have no place to complain or anything.
Like, okay, if I get on a bus and the bus driver gets in an accident, that's not my fault.
Are you on the bus? No. Chad are the ones on the bus. We're like riding together at the front.
Oh God, am I the bus driver?
You are my GPS.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
Yeah, you're my little GPS.
Your little navigation system.
Yeah. Turn right. I love it.
In a quarter mile, take a left.
I kind of love that, not gonna lie. Anyway, this has been... Oh my god, the Berserker battle was really cool though.
I think I can still confidently say either that one or the one of Ryder on Pegasus have been like my favorite CGs so far.
Yeah. I think it has to be that one for me. I think just the whole mood. Like, there was like... That was the overarching arc of this entire game so far. Like, we have to beat Berserker was what kinda started the main entrance into the Holy Grail War. Like,
I mean, it's like he said, like, when the day we fought Berserker was the day that Saber got summoned.
Yeah, and it was the day that they decided they had to team up with Rin to actually, like, beat Berserker. It was, like, the thing that had been, as Rin was saying, like, oh, the others won't be a problem. They will, I'm sure about it. I'm sure there will be a big problem, but, like, there is that sureness of the big thing has passed, and so it's, like, a pivotal climax to what the route is for now. Until...
It's almost like we're hitting kind of a weird, like, zero reset point where
Exactly.
everything's like, okay, yeah, new plot has to happen.
Exactly. We are going to actually be leading into the final stretch of the Holy Grail War, and let me actually check the flowchart.
I'm really curious to see how the pacing holds up after this. Like, not that I expect it to be bad or anything, but just, like, I'm really interested to see if that makes sense.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Interesting.
She's doing her research. Everyone stand back. This could get dangerous.
Okay. There is some interesting things up ahead, but for now, I won't say anything.
Are you sure you don't just want to spoil the rest of it for me?
Of course. Listen,
that's an option we have. Like, you could just do that.
Listen, I am not going to... I am not going to reveal that the big bad is Senji and he survived. Imagine that. Could you imagine that? I am not actually holding that as a thing that is gonna happen. It is not.
Like, I hope not. I think that would just kind of suck.
It would absolutely fucking suck. He got decimated by Berserker, and honestly, he deserved it.
He got exploded, and we don't feel bad.
I wonder if we had gone after Senji, if we could have seen him getting turned into a fucking cloud of blood.
I think someone in chat mentioned that we would, but...
maybe when we're done and we're going through the bad ends, we can, like, check those choices too.
It'll be a fun little like side project
Because I
for
don't,
Wakraya and Anyan's fucking bad end theater.
because those things, I do not think they actually influence if like going to a bad end or not. I think they kind of have other things going on with them, and it's like side scenes.
Yeah,
So we can just check them, like all of the other options of like asking Saber about the crab move. You know?
Forgot about the crab.
Yeah. Teach us a super secret move that even a crab could use.
I forgot about the crab.
How could you forget about the main, most important character in Fate Stay Night, the super crab that can use a novel phantasm?
Like,
Ilia killed Senji, she can't be that bad.
I don't know. I think terrible people can do good things.
Ah, a little treat for Baden Theater. God. Anyway, this has been a lovely evening as usual.
This has been an absolute blast.
Absolutely. Any last thoughts you may want to give about the story or anything at all? About Heracles?
At the moment, no. I feel like we're at just like a really good point where we're just sort of cruising. We saw like some good stuff, and now we're just set up to do no more next week.
Yeah. Next week we'll start having to deal with a gremlin white woman and hamburger time.
I love hamburger time.
I
just want to say, like, it's been an absolute chat or blast, like, not just going through this, but also, like, doing it on streams. A lot of fun. I like seeing people talking in chat. I enjoy the little bits everyone throws out. Like, even when they're not being acknowledged, I'm still reading and giggling at them. Like, it's good stuff.
I do apologize sometimes when there's, like, for example, during the fight, and when Shirou was, like, summoning Caliburn, I was not looking at chat. I was, like, reading off the corner of my eye, but I had to read. And with the, like, history of King Arthur being read, like the dream about her life, I had to give my all. That's the moment when I had to narrate everything so nicely. Because again, I am Spanish. I am not a native English speaker, so I always fear that I am
you
going
speak Espanol.
I do speak Espanol. But yeah, I'm always slightly concerned that when I start reading about something, I will like stumble upon my words and not be understood. So I try to focus.
Even when you do stumble, you recover pretty quickly. Like, I would, maybe I'm just used to you, but like, I've never found you hard to understand before.
I do appreciate it. I really do. Genuinely. It is generally extremely reassuring.
I mean, I've said 1,000 times that I also just really like listening to your accent, so...
I do appreciate it. Generally, I've mentioned it like a million times before, so I'm not going to go into it, but streaming really has made me confident in my accent.
It's lovely. There's so many like little like letters and sounds and stuff that I notice. And it's just like, oh, that's great.
I'm sending hearts in chat right now just because of that.
Yes, fantastic.
Anyway, this has been lovely, but we need to wind down after Berserker fight. You can't tell that English is not my native language? Thank you! Oh, listen, yeah, I know how you love how I say sarsaparilla. I know it's sarsaparilla now.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Before I knew it was sarsaparilla, I said sarsaparilla.
Oh, I love that.
I mentioned this before, but I started reading English because of World of Warcraft Classic, before it was translated in Spanish, and then Roblox. So like, I have genuinely been writing, and I have written more English than I have written Spanish at this point, basically. And honestly, because I don't really speak much in my day-to-day life, I think I've been also speaking more English than I have been speaking Spanish. My own family has told me that I have a little bit of an English accent.
I still remember hearing someone in the background trying to talk to you in English. And you just very politely told them not to.
Yeah. My dad knows a little bit of English. He doesn't like speak it fluently or anything, but he was a server at a restaurant, so he knew like a couple of like courtesy sentences.
Yeah.
Similarly, my sister also doesn't entirely speak English. She has like fallen a little bit off of it, but she did go on like a course to Scotland at one point and lived there for a little bit.
Neat.
She often...
I mean, okay, let's be honest, they barely speak English up there.
Funny. You heard a lot of Americans that speak English much worse than you, and that's the only language they know. That is actually way... I find that more common. What pronounce Arkansas? What about Arkansas, Sharpie? What were you trying...
You mean Arkansas?
You were trying to catch me off guard with Arkansas? I know about that. I know about that, but like I only started saying Arkansas like a year ago.
Well, cause like, okay, I as an American, other than talking about its name, have never had a reason to bring up Arkansas in my life. Why would you need to know how to pronounce it?
Yeah, fair. That's not even English. Yeah. But yeah, I feel there is... Oh, conclusion. Sergio, you mean conclusion? No one has a reason to bring it up. But yeah, people who have grown up just speaking English probably just speak it faster than I do. I don't really have to like think about it. I don't have to like think about it, but I try to pace myself a little bit because I want to pronounce things properly. So probably people who are like native English speakers just kind of raise more with it, and so it like like the words just slur together a little bit more.
My experience talking to you, like, you talk pretty fast and it blends in well because like that's just what a lot of English speakers do. I think it's different on the West Coast. My friend's family always spoke really, really slow whenever they visited.
I don't know. I feel at this point I just realized I've been trying to basically deflect and not accept that that I speak English good, and I think I should stop that because that is just beating myself up for no reason, you know?
I would agree.
Its total population is 12 cows and a horse that is obviously their leader. I have no idea what goes on in Arkansas.
No, that's right. That's correct.
A lot of them just don't watch how they speak. Okay, fair. I guess another thing about my... Like, I said before saying this, oh, I'm not going to go into it too much because I've talked about it before, and here I am, like, 20 fucking minutes later still talking about it.
It's because we're prompting you. It's because we're talking to you.
But on top of my accent, as I have mentioned before too, I haven't done voice training. So, you know, I've always been a little bit shy about my voice in that sense too, because, hi, trans girl here. If it wasn't obvious by literally everything I do and say every single time. But like, you know.
Or like the trans flag behind your head.
Yeah. Or the visible bulge in my model, you know? Let's say it how it is. But yeah, it is that combination of not native English speaker, not done any voice training, that just kind of mixes. And right, I was mentioning the titty pills earlier on stream. I literally...
You say occasionally, I think it's been every single time we've streamed Fate.
It is because my time to have my titty pills, it's like 12. Like, it's on the clock at 12.
Yeah, it always overlaps.
Yeah, and like I never stream until 12 unless I'm doing Fates, so literally I had to take them. I actually missed my titty pills last week.
I just want to step into chat here and say that this is Boston erasure.
But yeah, I actually was so intensely wrapped up in the dragon scene last time that I forgot my titty pills.
Oh no!
And then I did the worst possible thing and went to sleep at 7 a.m. And in the morning I had a double dose of titty pills, which I shouldn't do, but I did either way because I didn't want to get like my pills out of like schedule.
Out of control.
Yeah, so I kinda ended not feeling too good, and that's why I didn't stream Tears of the Kingdom last week.
Great work.
I just stayed up too late and took a double shot of titty pill.
New
Actually,
York wishes it was Boston.
I mean, to be fair, Watchdog, the state you're in specifically is not. You offended multiple Americans who I could say. I think there couldn't be a better place to wrap things up than right there. I think that's
Agreed.
perfect.
That's a perfect place to call it. Thank you.
That's why you want to go back to your old... Oh, fair enough. Yeah, 100%. I hug you. I actually do hug you. As someone from the same southern state, oh, Weeb, I'm so sorry. Ooh. Be safe.
Being from the south just is like intrinsically an L, I think.
Be, like, actually with no irony or anything. Please be safe, y'all. The state of the world right now is kind of scary in many places.
Oh, so, the world is all spooky all over.
So, big hugs to everyone who may be dealing with that kind of stuff, and I hope, if nothing else, watching two nerds talking about Fate on a live stream on YouTube can, like, make someone's day a little bit brighter, maybe? Right?
It makes my day brighter.
It makes mine too, come on!
You fucking bottom.
Do not make me verbally key smash!
It's so easy, though. Okay. I feel like now's a good time to call it.
Please.
It's been an absolute delight. I love you, Wak. I love you, members of chat, who I have varying levels of acquaintanceship with.
Love you, Anya, and I will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm just exhausted after that. Wish it wasn't cause Alabama was really nice when you visited it years ago, but now the person you were there with to visit was moving because of reasons. Yeah. Anyway, it has been lovely being here, and honestly, though usually you slide off the screen diagonally, why not? I forgot you guys could see that. Usually I could, like, spend a little bit extra talking with you all, but, like, I'm tired. It's late. We had an intense session here, and we have been talking for a little while already, so let me just get my ending music prepared. And thank you all so much for being here today. One moment. Shh. One moment. There we go. Fate continues being extremely good. I can't believe we have actually adopted that fucking red-eyed chipmunk. She's just here now. By the way, I'm currently reading which on the Holy Night did you read it? I have not. Mahoyo is another of the light novels I wanna check. Like, honestly, after playing this, Holy Wakraya, Tsukihime, and Mahoyo. I definitely want to check. I also want to read the what's the name? The Kara no Kyokai light novels. I wanna, or maybe check the movies. I think the movies are fine, but I may check the light novel instead. Which on the Holy Night is so good. I've read a lot of good things, to the point I'm considering making it a post-Fate stream as well, you know? Like, maybe after Fate, if Fanny is still feeling up to it, we could keep going through the Nasuverse visual novels, you know? You can check the movies, they are also good, fair. Actually really good, but hard to get in good quality. Oh, interesting. I'll try to see what I can find, if I can find anything in that regard. All I know, okay. All I know about Kara no Kyokai is the movies might actually be preferable, huh? Interesting. All I know about the Kara no Kyokai, like, entire plot is about, you know, Shiki and Boyd and Knife and Mystic Eyes of Death Perception, and also gender and plural. There's a lot of gender and plural stuff going on with Ryogi Shiki, so, you know. You have them in Blu-ray quality, but that'd be very hard to get to me. Oh, I mean, if I can find them in, like, if I can just find them somewhere like that, I can just, like, try to purchase them if it's, like, available anywhere nearby. That could be nice. I've got my Fate Strange Fake manga physical format recently, so maybe Blu-ray of Kara no Kyokai is not that difficult of a find? Who knows? Maybe it's just around the corner and I just never knew. You still happen... Oh yeah, you grabbed that Heaven's Fields poster. That is spoilers for the third route. Do not show that on the server, Watchdog. Shiki does have multiple personalities, yeah. I do like how Nasu, like, listen. Let's talk about it now. Nasu has a lot of very big straight man moments to the visual novel, you know. There's a lot of, like, very straight romance going on, like, around, but also, there really is a genuinely, like, invested and interested attempt at exploring, like, some really cool things that I could argue, considering the date that this fucking visual novel came out, is kind of ahead of its time, you know? Like, when I got into Fate Grand Order, and I started playing Fate Grand Order, and that was my introduction to everything Fate related, I ended up finding a lot of, like, very interesting gender things going on, and, like, representation I didn't, like, necessarily expect. And it was one of those cases where, like, maybe a lot of people are also like, oh, it's a gacha game, so, like, in the gacha game, everyone is, like, protagonist sexual, so, like, and yeah, there's, like, a lot of fan service, and, like, there's multiple writers, and it's not properly, like, written, but also, I didn't know about the grander Nasuverse at that point, so it gave me that little itch of the exploration of, like, huh, how does Fate handle this kind of stuff? And when you start going through the rest of the franchise, you kinda, like, find a lot of, like, really cool ideas, and, like, everyone's character's sexual unless they're married, yeah. But yeah, you find, like, some genuinely interesting representation and, like, ideas, and, like, there's a lot of misses here and there, like, not everything is handled as good as it could feasibly be, but there's what I consider to be, like, genuine attempts at, like, doing cool stuff with this kind of stuff, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I feel Nasu tries, and all I've seen about him in interviews, like, he generally seems to care about this kind of stuff, and I don't know, I like the franchise as a whole. There's a lot of points where you can be like, like, you can be unsure about how some things are portrayed, or, oh, this didn't age too well, but on the other hand, there's a lot of really good, really interestingly explore things. And for example, as we were talking earlier about Saber and gender, it is not like accidental. In a chat with, like, in an interview between Nasu and Takeuchi, god, I forgot his name, they basically mentioned that one of the reasons why the Fate Roots, like, writing with Shirou and Saber's, like, relationship, like, it's still fine, but there's a few moments where it's a little bit is because Nasu was actually genuinely trying to deliver, like, on the sort of, like, gender, like, dubious, like, bisexual as, like gender fucky and sexually fucky relationship between Saber and Shirou, taking into account, like gender, like, feels and, like, that kind of stuff, but he didn't exactly know how to parse it, so he ended just sort of having Shirou default to a kind of misogyny, like, state of, but you're a girl, you know? Like, the misogyny moments that we make fun of Shirou, like, coming up, like, he didn't find... You'd argue that Karano Kyokai does it better. Fair. But yeah, Nasu said that he couldn't really find, while writing, a satisfying way to resolve it, and if there was anything he'd like to rewrite from his earlier work, that could be it. He's not going to, but he mentioned that he was well aware of that not being exactly the best, and that it could be handled better. And I've heard people compare Kirstaria and Canius in Fate Grand Order as basically not necessarily to be seen as Nasu's attempt at, like, redeeming himself or something like that, but, like, a better shot at dealing with, like, a master and their servant that has some, like, intense trans things going on, you know? Karano Kyokai was originally a light novel series. I know that. Yeah. It is why I said that my first, like, thing was just going to read the light novels, because I didn't know how the VN is, if at all. But I did hear that the movies are good. You could say Nasu is much better at writing girl romance. Yeah! You know what? He is. He fucking is. Have you seen Saber and fucking Tosaka? I'm sorry. Like, just wipe Shirou to the side. Just have them kiss. Just have Rin kiss, what's the name of her girlfriend? God, it's been so long since she showed up, I forgot her name. The girl from the archery club. The president of it. Sole president now that Shinji's gone. But yeah, no. Nasu genuinely... Just throw him to Archer. Nasu is genuinely better at writing homoerotic tension than he is at writing straight romance. Inside of Nasu there are two walls. One writes shonen, the other writes Yuri. Mitsuzuri, thank you, I forgot. But the first name was Ajako? Ajako Mitsuzuri? Anyway, I have other things to get up to now, and it has been way longer than I expected in the end of stream music, so I'm just gonna... Yeah. Ajako, yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here, and I'll be seeing... Shut up, Soja.